Podfather versus Stormin' Norman Buckland and Matt Lucky Legg. Who's the governor? I'm the governor!
I've done a bit of time for a shooting, like, sawn off 12 bore.
Got a phone call, do you want to fight AJ at Wembley?
It'd be difficult to say no, right?
Yeah.
One of the boys got kidnapped, the doorman, like. They put him in the back of the van and they give him one hell of a beating, like.
You walk in there, you bump into Voice Shaw, Joe Pole, Lambianos. I mean, everyone would be there.
Who's that? Shut up! I said, who's that? They said, that's Charlie Bronson.
And he got me with an uppercut at the end, which broke my eye socket.
That's enough now! Bring it up! Sit down! And the screws loved it, like.
I'm surprised they didn't give you a uniform.
Attacked him with hockey sticks, and they broke his arm. He carried on fighting with a broken arm.
I broke my jaw as well. I hit him to knock him out, like. And he went down, he showed me his box after.
How can you assault someone from the driver's seat who's outside the passenger side? So that's what got him recalled.
Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast, and this episode is proudly brought to you by Betovo. Before we get stuck into this week's episode, we're going to give a big shout out to our sponsors. Our amazing sponsors, IME, have created this fabulous portal which will allow the Criminal Connection podcast family to connect directly with the show and with the Podfather. You can upload your video messages and you will get a response. So anything you want to know, whether it's about movies, about me, about the show, about the guests, about any stories, about any conspiracy theories, anything you want to know, send us a video message. We're then going to select a selection of these and we are going to do a live Q&A video and we're going to be posting that on YouTube with our sponsors, IME. To start sending your videos over, click on the link below, get involved. It costs $0 to set up the account, so make sure you get involved. It's a simple process and we will look forward to answering your questions on the Criminal Connection podcast through our sponsors, IME. Introducing a proper raw men's fashion brand that has untamed energy inspired by relentless warriors while remaining cheeky and rebellious. Simian Saboteur is not just about style. This brand is a movement and a rebellion against the ordinary. This clothing is crafted for those that face life head on. Our new collection fuses classic design with modern edge. If you want to express your true warrior identity, strength and boldness, then join our tribe of real modern men. Make sure you give us a follow across all our social media platforms to be the first to sign up and explore our collection of activewear, casual wear and statement pieces so you can feel totally unique. Launching soon, Simian Saboteur, where style meets spirit. Together we will redefine men's fashion. Make sure you check our social media links below. I want to say a huge thanks to our sponsors, Fragrance du Bois. Now, for those of you that don't know about Fragrance du Bois, where have you been? It is one of the leading luxury fragrances, only available in Harrods, Selfridges and Neiman Marcus in New York. For all the Criminal Connection podcast crew, we've got a special discount for you. 10% off. All you need to do when you click on the link below and choose your luxury fragrance is to put in CCPOD10 for the 10% discount. So if you'd like to find out about any of our fabulous sponsors, make sure you check out the links in the description below.
Welcome back to the Criminal Connection podcast. My name's Terry Stone and today we've got two guests, not one, two. It's the first time that we've ever done this because we're always thinking about how we can mix it up. So this is a podcast exclusive. We have Norman the Doorman, a.k.a. Stormin' Norman, a.k.a. the Guvnor.
The Governor! Who's the Governor? I'm the Governor!
And we've got marvellous Matt Legg, also mighty Matt Legg. Two great guys. Welcome to the Criminal Connection podcast.
God bless you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Put your hands together.
Thank you for having us on, Terry. I appreciate it, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Been in the pipeline for a while.
Yeah,
I've seen your broadcast and they're fantastic, mate.
Oh, amazing. Well,
And
listen,
I've said to you, you was in a foot soldier, weren't you? Like, yeah.
when you walked in, I thought, we're going to have to get a bigger sofa.
yeah. I think I'm about 20 stone at the minute.
Wow. And how much do you weigh, Norm?
About the same, yeah. But I'm getting a bit fat now. I'm not as...
I bet you still got the moves, though.
I'm pretty good. I don't fight on the doors anymore, like, you know what I mean? You know, I really talk to them, like, and if it's the youngsters, like, I said, look, your parents ain't here, but I'm here to look after you, like. I said, come on, behave. And some of them actually know me. They've seen me, like, on the podcast or they've heard of me or something like. And it's all about, you know, the fighting days are over. Like, look after them. Like, treat them like they're your own kids. Like, because they've got parents like me. Like, they've got a father and a mother out there. Like, so I rather think I do a little bit of babysitting and that's it. Right. Like, you know,
you've been doing the doors 40 years. Is it over 40 years?
50 years. I was only a kid, wasn't I? First time I opened.
And how long did you do the doors for, mate?
I didn't do them for long. I did a little bit on my own in a club in Leighton Buzzard, only for about a year. It was a strip club, so just me sitting there. That was it.
That must have been tough.
Yeah, yeah. I had to take a book and read a book, believe it or not. You get bored after a while, didn't you?
I love that. Is that what you told your missus?
Yeah, yeah. But that's the only bit of door work I did. I think I did one day with Norman years ago, but I was more to be in the club drinking, partying. I was more of the one inside.
You've done it since I've been out. You've worked on the door bits as well, haven't you?
Yeah, I've done a couple of security bits, but not a great Thai boxing show. But yeah,
they love
I'd rather be in there drinking.
Right. Any door I work on, like they want Matt there.
Right.
You get Matt like, and he's difficult to get like because he's a busy man like. But I just hope somewhere along the line he gets a really cushy job and he gets looked after because he deserves this. He's a lovely boy. He's a one-off, like, you know what I mean? He's such a loyal, honest and truthful person, like, you know what I mean? I love him like my own son, like, you know what I mean?
Well, we actually worked together on a movie.
Yeah, Bronson
with Tom Hardy, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I had a phone call, didn't I? All right, so is that Norman? I said, yeah. I see you in the film, like, you want to be in a film? And it was Mr. Bronson, like, you know what I mean? And I couldn't believe it. I tried to get him back and I couldn't get him back.
Right.
And he's phoned me from prison, like. And I thought, I told him I couldn't do it, like, but I really regret. I've got a lot. I love the fella to death, like. His sister and his brother-in-law, like, I'm mad about them. Right. I love everyone. And it's a shame that I turned into a fighter and a boxer. Because I respect any fighter of any level. Two people get in the ring, I respect them both, like. I respect just the bottle for them to get in there, like, you know.
Well, a lot of people don't, you know, the actual thing, lots of people, you know, they're these armchair boxers or armchair UFC MMA people where they're going, you should do this, you should do that. But actually getting in there and actually doing it.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I think you got to do it to be able to comment on it, you know. I've done it.
This is what I've always said about Joey Powell. I mean, Joey had a fight at Caesar's Palace, like
You're talking about senior or junior?
Young
no,
Joe.
senior. I mean, a junior, senior is a god, like, you know what I mean? Right. Junior, he's a lovely fella. I love him to pieces, like. He shouldn't have done that, like, you know what I mean? Because it didn't go down too well, and it looked a bit scruffy. I don't know if you ever seen it on video or anything. No. Like. Well, I won't say no more. If you see it, you'll understand it, like, you know what I mean? But then, like, he was a head coach, he was sorting all the fights out, and I thought, well, come on, mate. How can you sort all these fights out when you don't really know it yourself, like? Right. But his dad was fantastic, like. His dad was brilliant, like. Total respect to both of them, like. And the little firm and Caesar's Palace, totally respect all of them.
Those were good days, weren't they, Caesar's Palace?
It was fantastic, like, yeah. Oh, everyone used to get up there, like.
What I used to like was when you walk in there and you bump into Voice Shaw, Joe Powell, Lambianos. I mean, everyone would be there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then you'd have all the old school villains, and you'd have all the sort of up and coming ones, and then you had a lot of celebrities there as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frank Bruno used to go down there,
especially, didn't he? I mean, when the old man Joey was alive, when Joey died, like, I think he went a bit downhill, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't the same after that, like, you know what I mean? Young Joey done a good job there, like, you know, he tried the best he could. But it was brilliant because, I mean, Matt pulled me up there, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're saying, he said, yeah, it's Norman. And at the time he was fighting top professionals, like. He said, Norman taught me how to fight in prison. So, you know what I mean? They used to sit me down and have a chat with him. They said, so you're the bare-knuckle fighter, like. And I thought, well, my grandfather used to fight for Barnet Fair, like. It's about 80 years ago. Right. He was the governor there, like, you know.
Were you from a travelling background then?
Traveller, Jews, traveller, part of it, and Irish as well, Gypsy, right. Irish, Jew.
So from your sort of story, Norman, where did you sort of grow up?
Me, partly in Spain, half the town, a town called Avia, like. My grandmother, like, she lived through the Boer War, the First World War, and the Second World War, and I was a bit of a mummy's boy over here, like, with my dad and my mum. And that's
got to be Criminal Connection podcast exclusive.
I know. And what they done, they sent me over with my nan over to Spain to get brought up by her to toughen me up. Like, she was hard. Right. Oh, she was tough. Like,
she wasn't a bare-knuckle fight, was she?
No, her dad was. She might as well be. She used to beat with a stick all the time. Her dad was gypsy. I think they changed from George Cooper to Jack Cooper, but that was the Coopers. Like, the other side, she was married to Buckland, Bucky. Like, he used to fight in the Barnet Fair. Like, he was the governor there. Like, he used to call him Bucky. He preferred calling him Bucky. Like, because I think all the screws in the prison like were called governors. Like, and he didn't like being called governor. Like, but he was there years ago. Like, the governor, like Bucky. Like, he was fantastic. My dad used to tell me stories. My nan used to tell me stories. I used to get, so it was bred into me, like, you know. And I obviously had my Uncle Billy, like, from Tame, like. He was, he fought on the bills as the Crays, like.
Right.
And all my uncles fought, the whole family, like. From
but you didn't ever fancy actually boxing? You just went straight into the bare knuckle? That was just because everyone was doing it in the family?
Yeah, it was like that. I mean, when I was over Spain with my nan, like, she was very strict, like, you know what I mean? And she used to tell me about her dad and Bucky and everything else, like, so it was in you, like. And she was tough. She'd lived through 2 wars, East Ender as well, like. Right. She used to go on about Whitechapel. I didn't know where I didn't know where the East End was, like, until I come back in and he got me up there. Then it all went into, then I could see it all, like. It was lovely, like, you know what I mean?
So when you sort of compare traditional boxing training to bare knuckle fighting training, what's the difference?
Well, I was boxing as well. As an amateur, I used to box for the home county. I was like heavyweight ABA champion as well. Like, it's your instincts, like, you know what I mean? I work for Sparring now. Like, I go up north, and Spartans are brilliant, and it's so much bottle, like, you know what I mean? And the hay bales are around your feet. You ain't got a lot of room, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're 8 foot by 8 foot hay bales. I've got a fighter that does it, heavyweight. He
trains
anywhere.
a boy up, yeah.
You're stuck in that thing doing bare knuckle, which is, it's one of the toughest aspects of it.
I've got my own belt out, Stormy Norman Buckland Guvnor belt.
Yeah.
So that's gone down to Gary Furby. He used to box up. He used to box at Caesar's Palace. He was lovely, good boy, like. He used to box heavyweights. He was only about 30.5 stone, and it's gone to the heavy. Who's the heavyweight?
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg.
Nate Dogg's got it.
Nate. And he's. This boy's he's an animal. Like,
but how do you condition yourself? Because whenever I've watched the bare knuckle fights, they're normally over fairly quickly. But the ones that go on for, well, they can go on forever, can't they? Until someone sort of taps out or gets knocked out. Yeah. But the punishment you get when someone punches you in the face, is there any way of conditioning yourself for that? Or
running, run, loads of road.
Or run away?
It does something to your mind. If you do so much road work,
right?
It because you're running forward all the time, ain't you?
Right.
And you're thinking about things like, I had A.B. Goldsmith, Fletchley Rules, like, used to tell me that. He said, Norman, who trained me up was another fella. What's his name now? What's his name? Bless him. No, the little fella from Aylesbury.
Oh, Billy.
Billy Hutchinson's. He was combined service champion, like, the RAF, the Navy, and the Army.
Right.
And he was fantastic, like. And he used to take me for runs 6 or 8 miles, like. And he was fantastic. It's fitness, really.
You had an ability to take pain, though, didn't you? Which not everyone else did. So on the street fighting, you could take weapons and everything.
Yeah, sometimes I could take a beating, like, and give him a little while, like. I was probably enjoying it. And they'd wear themselves out.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I'd just come back and give him a good hiding, like, you know.
I used to hear stories about it when I was young, teenage, him fighting 4 men, attacked him with hockey sticks. And they broke his arm. He carried on fighting with a broken arm.
Oh, broke the jaw
beat
as well,
all 4 blokes.
I mean, that's an odd thing. Did that when they bought the hockey sticks out? Did they say Jolly Hockey Sticks?
They broke them. They broke them as well. They broke them over my back.
Because it's a fucking weird thing to have on you. You know. Do you want to have a round?
They got them out their boots. Yeah, they got them out their boots. The boot of the car, like.
Wow.
He beat all four though.
Wow.
But I couldn't read all right. I was illiterate, like, you know what I mean? The only way I could survive is working on the doors and doing jobs, like, you know what I mean? Or fighting, like, you know. The bare-knuckle fight. Alfie Buckland, my dad, like, used to have the boxing club, Meadowcroft Boxing Club down in Aylesbury, like. So we all used to go down there. Even now I've got a barn with a 23-foot ring in there. Right. And not so much now because I'm too old. I'm 62. I don't fight anymore. But the boys used to, even the travellers from Ponyfield, like Western Turf, Aylesbury, they used to come down there and spar up all the time, like people knocking on my door, like wanting to spar. I never knew half they were, like, you know. But
so when you're training a fighter for a bare-knuckle fight, did they actually wear gloves for the sparring, or did they actually go at it?
Gloves. No, it was but us it was bare-knuckle, wasn't it?
Well, when we were in prison, we couldn't get gloves in, so we wrapped a pair of socks around our knuckles.
No, that was my first. I'll be honest, like the point, the socks wouldn't help. But what I wanted him to do, because he was a bit handy with his fist, is get used to wearing something on his hands.
Yeah.
So if he got into a street fight and he clenched his hands, he'd feel like he didn't have the gloves or the, you know what I mean? Right. He didn't have it on, so it just slow him down a little bit instead of throwing punches and not thinking about it. You know,
and obviously being on the door. I mean, how many fights do you reckon that you had over your career? Because it must have run into
it's from
hundreds or thousands.
It changed. I mean, on the 70s and 80s, before I went in prison, there was no license. You know what I mean? That went up to the late 80s. Into the early 90s, there was no license.
I think when I did my raves, I think if the license had been in then, I think I would have been eyeing people that didn't have a license.
Yeah, I know, because what it was their patch. It was the toughest bloke on the corner, wasn't it?
Right.
Doing the door, like, and you did clout people now and again, like, you know what I mean? To put them in line, but you can't do it now. You can't do it. It's gone now. Like, you've got to. Well, I like it. I prefer it this way now because, I mean, it's better off this way.
How many fights do you reckon you had? It's in the hundreds, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's definitely in the hundreds.
Really.
Wow.
It was
in the hundreds when I was a teenager, probably.
And have you ever, I mean, obviously, apart the hockey sticks, what other things have happened when it's gone off? Have people pulled out knives on your guns or?
Yeah, knives, guns. It annoyed me with guns, like, because you don't know if they're going to use them or not, like. So I used to get the ump, like, I would size up to them with a gun, like, or even a knife, like, you know what I mean? What was stupid. But I used to do so many, at the rise of Toney 8, I used to mind for Toney 8, Back to the Future, like, we used to do the Outer Scouts, all of them. I used to, every week I'd be doing a different rave, like, you know. Even the Intercity, I think Toney 8 hired them once because we was on their patch and they come up and he said, well, why don't you do the doors for us? Like, we'll hire them. We'll just keep Norman and Alfie, my brother.
Right.
We were like his bodyguards, like, you know. And I was working for Toney 8 at Colesberg 8, they used to call him, since he was at school. Right. He'd have machines, arcades, and I was surprised he didn't have one in the church. But he'd have machines everywhere, all over the country, like, you know. And he was still at school. Then he went into the gambling, like. I don't know how he done it. He must have counted the cards or something. Because we used to come out of the casinos with thousands.
Wow.
And he used to get banned from the casinos. Then he started Sunrise.
Wow.
And it was a big one, like, you know what I mean? There was a lot of people about on the scene. I just can't remember all their names, like. So sorry if I'm thinking, you know, I'm talking about me all the time, because there was, like, you know, there was thousands of people, like, you know. But we were all over the country. It was fantastic.
And have you ever had one of your sort of incidents where it's like really come on top and it's I mean, I take it most of them you've ended up on top on, but was there any that have gone badly?
There was one, yeah. It was a house party in London, and it was over the Christmas, and they thought they could handle it. Like, I think it was Back to the Future and Back to the Future and Sunrise, and they thought they could run it by themselves. So they said, "Oh, it's all right. We don't need you tonight." So they had it. One of the boys got kidnapped, the doorman. Like, what thought he wasn't really a doorman. Like, Neil, his name was, and they put him in the back of the van. They robbed him, stripped him off, like, and they gave him one hell of a beating, like. So we got my brother got hold of us, like. I think a fella Stephen Wilson from Aylesbury, he was tough. Mark Marsh, another bloke from Milton Keynes, Kevin Wilson, and we had to go up there, like, into the hospital and see him, like, you know, and his eyes are sticking out, bulging, like. And I said, "Alfie, what have they done to him, like?" He said, "Well, they've bummed him." I don't know, it's unbelievable, like.
Right, so it weren't just the beating, it was the bumming as well.
Well, they've done him up to deaf and dumb as well, like, yeah. Wow. And we had to go to the party where it all happened, like, whatever. They kidnapped him because they said he was going back. And
did they give a reason for it, or was it just they just took it to another level?
I knew the gang. One of the blokes was Cowboy. He used to come to the raves, like. They were just abusive, like, you know what I mean? And they're just nasty people. Right. But they had to pay a lot of money, like, because they realised, you know what I mean, they were going to get hurt, seriously hurt. And the boot of the car had a load of guns in and stuff, like. It was fucking... I knew from there on it was out of order, like. Things are getting crazy, like. And people are starting to get shot, you know what I mean, and going missing, and it went silly. And I regret... I'd done a bit of time for a shooting, like, sawn off 12 bore. I didn't want to get bummed. Right. So it was like that. Imagine that.
I mean,
it's what am I going to go to the police station? I've been some bums, like, you know.
So I mean, you probably wouldn't want to tell anybody, right?
No. Do you want to go to this party?
Was that why you got the 12 gauge? You just thought, I'm going to have this just in case anyone tries to bum me.
Jesus Christ. I don't mind being shot or beat up.
Right.
I mean, you know, I was lucky. I never got really beaten. I used to get beat up now and again when the odds were against me and they were tooled up. Right. But I could come back from that, like, you know what I mean?
When you went to jail for the shooting, what actually happened with that?
That was something else. Someone was upsetting the doors, and I warned him, like, I told him, like, and I warned him, like, and I hit the steroids like we all do, like, for a while. And it sent me mad, like, you know what I mean? It's stupid. But I didn't really... at the time, it was Ben Johnson, and the Russians were winning all the gold at the Olympics, like. And they're fucking the muscles on them and everything. And it wasn't really known the danger of the steroids. Right. So, I mean, I was on one steroid at one stage, like, and I kept going bolting, running across the countryside. And I said, was it? It was Decker. No, was it Decker? Yeah, no, not Decker.
Ben Johnson was Winstrol, wasn't it?
This Finerjet. Yeah, Finerjet. Right. And I said, what the fuck? I said, what's this stuff like? He said, no, that's for racehorses. They inject racehorses with that.
I bet you said I'll have some of that.
Of course, I was all over the place. Like, it was stupid. I should have known better. I mean, I wasn't into the drugs. I never taxed anyone. I never bullied anyone. Right. I was into a bit of debt collecting, like, and I got told to hurt a few people, like, but I used to let them off the hook. Like, I said, you better tell them you got beat up because I'll have to come back and do the same again. But it was only a living, like, I was earning, like, you know what I mean? It was money. I couldn't get a job anywhere. I went to join the army, like, and they wouldn't have me because I was illiterate, like. It's one of those things, like, you know what I mean? It's a shame.
And what was the actual charge that put you in prison with a shotgun? What was that?
Firearms with a fray, the cause and a fray, yeah. Right.
And how long did you get on that one?
I got 10 to begin with.
Wow.
But I got 5 for the firearms and 5 for the affray. So that knocked it down back to back. That knocked it down to 5. I've done about a 3 out of that.
Is that when you met Matt?
Yeah. But I'm not proud of that. It was stupid. I deserved to go to prison. Like,
I mean, look, you're lucky you only did 3, right? Because 10 normally you do 7.
Yeah.
And that is, waste of life. But obviously for you, Matty, I mean, where did you grow up? Was you also sort of near Norman?
Fairly near. Milton Keynes, probably about 15, 20 miles away.
Right.
But I was born in Northamptonshire, little village there. So I lived there for the first 6 years, all peaceful, like a tiny little village. Moved to Bedford to a pub. So I lived in a pub from the age of 6. 2 years in Bedford, then I went to Milton Keynes to another pub.
Right.
So I was in pubs from the age of 6 to the age of 16.
Wow.
So I think that's probably where I got the love of drinking and partying and all that stuff.
And you've always been a big guy.
From the age of 13, I was 6'2".
Right.
I never got any taller from 13. But I started the weight training at 13 because I was getting into a lot of fights. Never sort of one person, always a gang or an older kid or bigger kids. So I started training. That's when I first met Norman. I think I was 13.
Right.
I was in the gym and all the doormen used to point him out and say, that's Norman Buckland, you know, one of the toughest men in the country and on the street and all this. So that sort of, I was fascinated by fighters.
Yeah.
People like Norman and Lenny and Roy and boxers as well, like Mike Tyson, Cliff Fields as well, Dunstable. So I was interested in the fighters.
Yeah.
But I would never start a fight. I always maintain this. I got into a lot of street fights, but only if someone provoked it or had to go at my pals.
Yeah. So you was a finisher rather than a start.
Yeah. I had that quick switch where if someone was starting or a little gang was starting, I would just turn it on like that.
Right. And did you have fights as an amateur?
I boxed as an amateur, yeah.
Oh, how many fights did you have?
As an amateur, 15 amateurs. I won 30. I only lost to one man.
Right.
He was the double ABA champ, super heavyweight. But the boxing started when I went to prison with Norman. And Norman said, rather than getting into fights and start fighting with the police.
Lucky Luciano, that's what reminded me of Lucky Luciano.
I was fighting.
He fought Paul Joyce, was a bare-knuckle champion, he was.
Right.
You know Big Paul Joyce?
Is he part of
The Joyce family. Yeah, he's the one who does the refereeing. You normally see him reffing the bare-knuckle fights. But I fought him in the amateurs. I fought a lot of the champions.
Right.
I beat a lot of the champions, got to the ABA final and lost by 1 point. So
I mean that shows you how good you were at to be able to do that. So he's not marvellous and he's not mighty. He's Matt Lucky Legg. I actually like that. Matt Lucky Legg.
Who's the Roy? No, not it's Jesus, his name Ricky English.
Oh, Ricky, yeah.
You used to always put him in with the Travellers, like.
Right. Yeah.
And when he went in with Paul Joyce, he's a monster of a man.
Right.
And the man's so fast.
Right.
He's as quick as a lightweight.
Yeah,
you
Big
know
Paul
what I
Joyce
mean?
is 6'5", 25 stone.
Wow.
But he's fast.
Very,
when
very
I fought
fast,
him, he was unbeaten in 8. I was the first person to beat him. But we had a proper war. It was only amateur, 3 rounds, but we had a proper war, which is on YouTube. It's on my channel.
Right, wicked.
Good fighter. And then I went with Ricky English. So Ricky trained me, I think, for my last 10 amateur fights.
Yeah.
And Ricky got me doing the Mike Tyson style, you know, the rolling, slipping. And he got me sharp. And all my trainers did well for me. I had a lot of good trainers. But Ricky got me to the ABA final and then pro as well. Right. So I went pro with Ricky.
Tyson Fury, sparred with Tyson Fury.
Yeah. Sparred with Tyson Fury.
I mean, Tyson's, like, when you look at him, he's an anomaly, isn't he? Because he's so big and so heavy, but he moves like a middleweight, doesn't he? He's so, and someone said to me that when you actually fight him, you can't really prepare to fight him because he doesn't stand where he should stand, and he doesn't box how he should box. So it's really, all over the place.
Really strange.
His brother fought on the same show as you, isn't he?
That's it. Yeah, Huey, his cousin. He put on Facebook probably about 10 years ago. He put, all you British heavyweights, you're all pussies. None of you will spar me, let alone fight me. And I said to someone, show me that message. And I said to him, I'll come up and spar you. I wasn't even fit. I think I've been out of the ring for 2 years.
Right.
I basically got off the settee. I thought it'd be good to get in the ring with him because I knew he was going to be a future champion.
Right.
So he said, I'll pay you 10 grand if you can knock me out. And I just burst out laughing. I said, how much if I don't knock you out? And it was quite a good little wage for like 4 rounds, only 4 rounds. So I got on the train the following day, went up to Manchester, and Tyson picked me up from the train station, took me to the caravan site with his brother Shane, and just us 3 just sparred. I did 4 rounds, and that's when I realised it seems like he's on the other side of the ring when he's hitting you, but he's that tall and that long.
Right.
And his foot, like you said, his footwork and his movement, he's just so hard to hit. I think I landed 1 punch.
I mean, that. So I know we're going to go off piece slightly with this, but obviously with Fury and Usyk, right? That fight was obviously probably the most anticipated heavyweight fight of all time. It was probably like one of the super fight. It was one of the super fights. But I mean, when I watched it, it was so close. And I actually said, I think it's either a split or draw.
Did you?
And everyone's going, no, Usyk's unanimous. No,
Usyk.
Fury's won. So everyone had this sort of polarised view. It was either Fury's won or Usyk's won. But the reason I called it was because, and I was a bit sort of, because when you saw when Dubois fought Usyk, and he hit him with that shot.
Yeah, low blow. Well,
that was like, and Fury always said that's the way to beat him, the body shots. So I thought, well, Dubois done that, so that's the roadmap.
Yeah.
And then what I didn't get was when you saw Fury when he fought Wilder, there was the first time, it was like, fucking hell. How did he get out from that? But then the second time, he just come out and put it on him. Yeah. And I thought that's what he was going to do to Usyk. And I think if there was being an armchair critic, the only thing that I would have liked to see him do is from the first round just come out and put it on him. And I think if he'd have done that, he would have won that fight, in my opinion.
What do you mean, try and get him on the ropes and all
just
that?
Put it on him because when he came out against Wilder, when he put it on Wilder, Wilder just melted, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right? And everyone was going, no one's going to... And he said, I'm going to come in and knock you out. And everyone's going, he's never going to do it. And he just come in and put it on him. And he was like, wow.
I think he never got decked in that second fight. Fury didn't get floored, did he? He just put it on him.
Do you know, I can't remember.
It was the
he
third
might have
fight
got
and the
knocked
first
down,
fight.
but he did get up.
In that one as well,
I remember
did he?
it was a bit like I'm trying to remember, but it was a bit like the Wild West. It's like you go down... you get up, you go down, I'll get up. It was that.
They were amazing fights. That trilogy was amazing.
But I mean, did you think? I mean, there's obviously going to be a rematch coming up. I think in December.
Yeah.
What are both your views on that? Do you think Fury wins?
I think it'll be the same way Usyk again.
Really?
Yeah. Normally you find that in a rematch, the person who won the first time wins more convincingly the second. Usually, not always. But I think Usyk again.
What about you, Norman? What are you saying?
Well, I've got to stick with Tyson, ain't I?
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I'm Tyson. I'm a big Tyson.
Do you think Tyson's going to win?
Partly traveller as well, I am. So,
but the only reason I think he's going to win is because when he fought Wilder the first time, I know he'd come out he ballooned up in weight and he'd obviously been through that depression and all that bad stuff. But he still, I think I thought he won that first fight.
Yeah.
Right. But then the second fight, he absolutely done him. You know what I mean? And obviously,
I thought he won the first fight.
Wilder's going around.
The draw fight, yeah.
That was, to me, that was bollocks.
Yeah.
But it was,
I put a bet on the draw because I had a feeling it was going to be a draw. It was in America, wasn't it? And I had a feeling if it went points, it would be a draw.
Right.
But he won it. He definitely won it.
I thought so.
He got knocked down once, but the rest of the time he won.
Yeah. And it's a shame, really, because, I mean, Wilder was an amazing, explosive puncher, but... when you actually look at him now, he's sort of really gone off the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
I think he's been exposed that his boxing ability wasn't that good. I know he was a bronze medalist, but I think he's exposed his boxing wasn't that great. It was more the punch he relied on.
Yeah.
Because you got Parker's beat him now. Someone else beat him. Did Zhang beat him as well?
Someone else might beat him. Yeah, he done him. Yeah.
And obviously the Fury fights.
Right.
So it's sort of in a way, it's took away from Fury's victory.
Right.
A lot of people have said, but
I think Fury though did fight him when he was absolutely at his prime.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody could. If he'd have fought him maybe recently, people are going, "Oh, well, it's because he's on the way down." But I mean, the good thing about Fury, he has fought everybody. I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to see Fury and AJ fight.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would ever happen.
I was dying to see that fight. Yeah. I'd love to see that. Imagine that when they were both champions, and the fight was in Britain.
Yeah.
Now it'd probably be in Saudi, wouldn't
It's got to be, yeah.
But imagine, it's the only way it'll happen.
Yeah.
But if it had been in Britain at Wembley or something, that would have been one of the biggest British fight ever.
And obviously you've obviously got to the ABA finals, like you said, you were out partying, having a good time, and then where you was fighting on the street a lot.
Yeah.
What actually ended up with you sort of going down that wrong path, mate? Was it just because you were around the wrong people, or?
So what happened when I was, like I said, I was 13, started weight training, getting people having a go at me. I'd get people, little gangs, pulling weapons on me and stuff like that. So I started weight training to get strong, to defend myself pretty much. And then age of about 15, 16, I was about 6'2", about 14 and a half, 15 stone. So I was a lump at that age. And I got into fights with police and doormen and all of that stuff. So I looked at the police, I don't now, but then I looked at the police as bullies, because they knocked me off I had a little motorbike, 50cc motorbike, and they knocked me off it. It's my fault. I didn't have a helmet on, and I was driving along, and they ran me off the bike. And
I bet as a kid you were saying it's brutality.
well, no, I didn't. I didn't complain about it because I thought fair enough, because they hit me with the truncheons and strangled me with the truncheons, but they didn't realise I was 16 because I was so big.
Right.
When they found out I was 16, they got a bit worried, and I said, "Don't worry, I ain't gonna press charge. I'm not like that. I wouldn't grass even the old bill up. Right. I've got to stick to those codes." But I didn't like the police from that age, so I would get into fights with police and doormen, and if the doorman was having a go at my mate or beating someone up, which I felt was unfair, I'd jump in and fight with the doorman. I've done it with the police. If I thought the police were having a go at someone that was unjust, I would jump in and help the person out. It was crazy, really.
They tick.
I was young.
Once. And it went back on them, didn't they? There's them holding their eyes and everything. He kept his eyes
they
open.
They ran me over once. They ran me over twice. The second time they ran me over, I got out of my car and they drove their car into me, so I fell on the bonnet. This was in the afternoon, like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, round the corner from my house. And they must have been watching me.
Did they just think, fuck fighting him, we're just going to run him over?
Yeah. Well, they called for backup when they were chasing.
You've got total respect for them now, haven't you?
Now I have, yeah. This is when I was young. Yeah. Of course I have nowadays. But when they were chasing me around where I live, they called for backup. So there's like another 3 or 4 cars coming because they knew I'd got previous for fighting with police. So as I got out of my car, I would have handed myself in calmly if they hadn't have drove into me. So they drove into me. I fell on the bonnet of their car, and then I opened the car door up, punched the copper, went to run off.
You were green at the time.
Yeah, yeah. That's incredible. And he started chasing me, so I ran back at him.
Right.
I thought, I'm not going to run out. I'll run to, and he sprayed me with the gas, and I just ran through the gas and started chasing him around his car.
You just need the Benny Hill music.
Yeah. So I started chasing him, and then I could hear the sirens coming from the other cars. So I ran down the road covered in all this gas, and all these other police cars blocked the road off. I tried to jump through a gap, and I opened the door, and they grabbed hold of me. They all got gas from the gas that was on me, so they were all on the floor coughing. And but that was just one of the many fights I had with.
I had a gang come round my house. Like, can you fucking talk to fucking Matt? Remember that?
Yeah.
He'd beat them up.
There was a gang of 4 blokes.
He was only a kid then, wasn't he?
That was 4 blokes. 4 blokes attacked me in the pub one day, and just a Sunday afternoon. I was having dinner, and there was women and kids in the pub, and I don't agree with fighting in front of women and kids and stuff like that. They've attacked me, pulled me onto the floor because I didn't see him coming. Come up behind me, pulled me onto the floor, and tried to get on top of me.
Was that because you had a problem before? Or?
No, I don't know what it was. I've never had a problem with them, but I did after.
Right, yeah.
I got off the floor, got up with one on my back and chucked him off, and then I was just about to steam in, and there was women and kids. Women come over and said, "There's kids here. There's kids here." So I left it. Out of respect for the women and the kids in the pub. It was a Sunday afternoon, and I walked out the pub like fuming, and I tracked them all down. I got one the following day. There's 2 brothers, and it was 2 others. I got one the following day, and he bumped into him, tracked his brother down, and went round to see him. And then the other ones came to you for help, didn't they?
Yeah. They used to.
So I've got a new name for you now, Matt, the Equaliser Legg.
Yeah. Well, I had a very vengeful streak.
It was
It is though. It's a liberty.
It's a liberty.
It's a liberty.
It's a liberty doing that for no reason in front of women and kids. And I tracked the other ones. I tracked all 4 down. The last one I didn't get. He moved out of Milton Keynes.
He moved to Aylesbury.
But in my eyes,
I used to make a lot of friends, you know, when he used to beat
Did you
them
go,
up.
don't move over here, mate, I'm with Matty.
they rang him up for help, didn't they?
Yeah.
You just said, no, if you've
I used to get even debt collecting, like they used to go, look, Matt, I said, listen, Matt, he's never been a bully, like, if you owed him money, if you mugged an old woman or something, or if you borrowed money off or if you've asked her for money and you ain't, you know what I mean, you ain't give it back, like, he'll go around there, like, you know, he wouldn't do anything out of order, like.
A lot of people say the debt collectors.
That's what I always told him in prison when he was a youngster, like. I said, fly straight, yeah.
You're right about that, Norman. With the debt collecting, my friend Sean Smith does it. You know Sean from
Yeah, I've never met him, but I know he is,
Yeah, he gets called a bully. And the thing is, the jobs I did for debt collecting weren't going around taking people's TVs for council tax. They were people who'd been robbed, and they were the ones who had been bullied, and I was helping them out. So say I had a job once, 3 blokes went in and robbed a safe, got 10 grand out of the safe. There was a cage fight, and there was they were robbing post office and stuff. So I've gone and got the money back for the person who's been robbed. So how am I the bully? They're the ones who've been bullied and had their money stolen. Yeah. So I was the one getting back their stuff. It weren't legal debts I was doing. It was sort of criminal type ones.
Right.
So yeah,
But the thing is, like, you know, when I was doing the clubs and when I was doing different things, there was always like a thing where, you know, as long as you're flying straight, you're fine. But as soon as you don't fly straight, and I had the same thing where people would, like you said, people would ring people and say, I'm going to get him to speak to you and all that. And then you go, well, get him to speak to me.
You've got the travellers.
And then they ring you up and go, what's going on? And you go, this is what's going on. And they go, all right, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Right? But straight away, it's sort of like people think they can like ring you up and say, sort him out. You're going to go, I'll sort him out. But the thing is, when you actually know the context of what's gone on, like you said, if people are taking liberties.
Well, the travellers, he had a row with the travellers. They phoned Paul Joyce up. And they said, Paul said, who's that bloke? He said, Matt Legg. He said, yeah, he's a mate of mine.
yeah.
But normally that's it, isn't it? Normally, if you're mates with people and you treat one with respect, you know, people do look after you, you know?
The best way to sort anything out, I believe, is diplomatically. I've always tried to be a mediator. Rather than make things worse, I'll try and make things better for both sides. Right. I used to get called in a lot of times to try and diffuse situations, and
he's had a film out as well, hasn't you?
It's only
it's
a low budget film, budget film really, but only like a little project from my mate who's film director in Milton Keynes.
What was it called?
New City Fighter, but it was
wicked.
Russell North. He's an up and coming film director,
right?
And he just said, "Do you want to do a little short film?" And I said, "I'll do a little short film about how Norman got me into boxing in prison." I said, but as long as
broke my nose sparring.
Yeah.
I bet he's been going there like
I said to him, I said, don't Peter Pan about it. He was a pro then. He was fighting all the top world-class heavyweights, like world champions.
Right.
And I said, don't mess about. Like, just, if you're going to throw a punch, throw a punch. I said, in films, like, they do make-believe. I said, look, we've been fighting all our life. It doesn't really matter if you give me a black eye or broke... Bang! Then he caught me. It cracked as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it's on video.
Did you say don't take what I say literally?
Yeah, wish you hadn't said it.
I remember my prison shirt was covered in blood.
We were recreating what we used to do in prison, so we were recreating that for the film.
Right.
And we normally said make it look real. So
amazing.
They wouldn't let us they wouldn't give us gun shields or head guards,
gloves, anything.
It had to be bare knuckle, like, and there was no protection or everything. And he used to turn up every day, like, and he used to go for it, like, you know what I mean?
Norman was in his prime then. Norman would have been about 30.
But I used to get the chairs. I used to get the seats off the chairs and use them as like cushions for punching, like. And he broke them all, like, and I had to put them all back. and the YPs come back and sat on the chairs. Their asses went straight through them.
I always liked that thing Bruce Lee used to do when he used to do that thing through the break all the woods, the 1 inch punch.
Oh yeah.
So you were doing the equivalent, but with plastic chairs. But I was going to ask you that movie that you was talking about. If anybody wants to watch it, where can they see it? Is it on YouTube?
Not on my channel. I don't know where. I think it's on Russell North's channel.
But if they Google it, they can find it.
Yeah, you can find it on there. Yeah.
And obviously, you've got your own channel as well, Matt.
Yeah, my YouTube channel's going well.
What's it called?
Just my name, Matt Legg.
Right,
I think I've called it Fighting and Boxing Channel or something, but Matt Legg, just my name.
So anybody that's interested in that, obviously, drop Matt a follow, subscribe, and watch some of his stuff.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Yeah, I've not done a video for 3 weeks, but I will get back onto it again.
Yeah.
Some of the videos I spend 2 or 3 days doing, and if you never know what's going to hit or miss, do you? As you know yourself.
Yeah. I think the when we started this, it's only like 10 months old, but when we started it, we said let's do a load of interviews and get all the content lined up so that we had a bank of stuff, and then obviously other people come out of the woodwork. Some people we couldn't get hold of, and then they come out of the woodwork. So it's been a fun journey.
Done really well.
You're
one of the top ones now, aren't you? A lot of people say it's their favourite one.
Oh, I love that, Matty. From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah, well, it is. What everyone I speak to says it's one of the best ones out there.
Amazing.
I was going to give a shout out as well to Kevin Lane.
Because I was going to ask you about Kevin as well.
Yeah. You had Kevin on, haven't you?
Yeah, Kevin. I think we had Kevin on just before, obviously, he got recalled. Yeah. But I know you and Kevin are good pals. Was you in prison with him as well?
He was actually in Woodhill just after I left. I left in 95 and he came in 95, but he was on the prison within the prison where I think Charlie Bronson was.
We could hear Charlie
Bronson was in there
singing,
when we were
couldn't
there.
we?
Yeah.
They sent me down there once, down the block, like, I misbehaved, like the screws got scared and I got on with people.
Was that when you punched the screw?
No, no, they didn't. They didn't nick me for that because they knew I was looking after the wide piece. He wanted me to do the challenge 50-50, 50 times on the
bench press.
weights. Right. So what he was doing, he was winding me up so I could do it, and I didn't want to do it. And I thought he was sizing up, so I slapped him in the belly, dropped him on his hands and knees, like. And I said, I'm sorry, like, I was apologised, but they pressed the alarm and all the screws come, like. Right. They said, what happened, like? And I realised he was just caging me up, just like you'd cage me up to lift a heavy weight up. In prison, your mind's not set. Like half the time, your wife's not come up to see you, your kid's in trouble, you got bills to pay and that, like. And I thought he was winding me up.
The funny thing about that, though, he was barred from the gym for that, but he kept still going down there. And the prison officers kept saying, Matt, can you tell Norman that he's barred from the gym? They asked me to tell him.
So you tell him?
Yeah, I was like, you tell him. They wouldn't tell him. He kept on going down there, didn't you?
No, I like them. I never took the piss out.
No.
You know what I mean?
That was the only trouble you had with him, wasn't it, I think?
That's the only trouble. And I apologised to them. Like I thought he was G'ing me up. And I did do the 50-50-50. I got on the board there, like. Yeah. You done the 50-55s, didn't you?
Yeah, you got bench press 50
done better than me.
Reps.
Right.
Oh,
I only do 20.
I wanted the Guvnor belt. When Roy Shaw gave me the Guvnor belt, I wanted to hand it to. Well, I wanted to fight Matt. You know what I mean? So if Matt could fight, it would have been a history fight. It would have been, but they kept giving me. They're the boys are all right, but they weren't real fighters, like, you know what I mean? And I said, well, what about Matt? Ricky English said, yeah. But the point is, he had his professional licence, so he couldn't come and take the belt off me, like, you know. So I still got the belts at home. But honestly, Matt is the nicest fella I've ever met in my life. He's honest, he's truthful, he's caring, like, you know what I mean? And he'll fight anyone. He'll get in the ring and fight anyone. Well, he's the only bloke who's dropped me, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. In Sparring, yeah.
I thought you said you took a dive.
I had no choice. I had to take a dive.
Yeah, you went down. I'm just making you look good, mate. I'm just making you look good.
Yeah, mate, that's what I said about the exhibit. You know what I mean? When we was filming, like, when we was in prison, like, I said, don't hold back. Let the punches go, like. And crack, my nose fucking went in it completely, like. Right. And he was fighting the pros.
I didn't intend to do that, though. When I did it with that punch, it was one of them punches you throw, you don't expect it to land that hard.
He did.
No, he didn't. I made him feel bad. Right. All my mates are calling him a bully.
Yeah. I've got to give a shout out to my other trainers as well, Mervyn Turner. Right. So obviously Ricky English trained me for the amateurs and the pro fights. And I was with Kelly Maloney as well, was my manager, and Frank Warren. But then Mervyn Turner, who got me the big fights with AJ and James Toney, so I've got to give a shout out to Mervyn as well.
Well, and obviously talking about Kelly Maloney, was she looking after you, or was he looking after you? Because obviously a lot of people may not know, but obviously Kelly was Frank.
Yeah,
and I met Frank a few times, and I always remember him with Lennox. He always had that Union Jack suit on. Yeah. And you know, I think probably 3 or 4 weeks, I had lunch with him in Soho with a friend of mine. We were having a laugh. And then I think a month after that, he obviously came out saying, you know, I'm actually a woman. I'm going to transition. I'm going to be called Kelly. And I did actually think at the time, I think he's doing this as a wind up. Yeah. Because he was such a geezer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was doing all jokes.
Did he ever sort of say, obviously, if you were working with him, did he ever sort of say to you he's thinking of doing
I have no inkling of it at all, no, because I was with him 2001 with Sports Network. He was my manager and Frank Warren was my promoter. And I had 4 or 5 fights with Frank. He looked after me, didn't pay any. Every fight I had, I kept all the money and didn't give him anything. Really good deal I had. I never had any inkling, no. I got off a plane and in the newspaper it said Frank Maloney's now Kelly Maloney. And I was like, wow.
Is she still doing boxing management programs?
I'm not too sure.
Right. I haven't heard or seen
the last time I saw Kelly Maloney was on Big Brother.
Right.
That's the last I remember. Do you remember Celebrity Big Brother? And I think Audley Harrison came in as well. That's the last I know.
Did you ever fight Audley Harrison?
No, but we turned pro exactly the same month.
Right.
And Audley came over to me, shook me hand, he went, good luck, Matt. We'll hopefully meet down the line. We never did meet down the line, but he came
probably
over.
Good for him that he did.
But yeah, we turned pro exactly the same month. Wow. 2001.
And obviously going back to what led you into, we was talking about the police. Was that the thing when
I went to prison?
Was that because with the police?
It was free. I got arrested for three 3 separate violent charges within a month. So on the Friday night, I got into a fight with the doorman and the police at a nightclub. I was only 18 then, but I was big. I was about 18 stone. So I got into a fight with a doorman who were throwing my mate down the stairs. So I've run over to help my pal and had a fight with the doorman. The police came in and threw me out. Right. I then had a fight with the police that same night. Well, sorry, no, I went outside and I went back in and I ate the head doorman. Then the police came in and had a fight with them because they grabbed hold of me. So then it was alleged that I got out the police station the following day and had a fight with, I think it was like 8 or 9 blokes. It was alleged there was me and a mate had a fight with a big gang and there were weapons and stuff like that. And it was a Section 18 wounding, which got thrown out eventually. So that was a serious charge. That was there. And then there was another fight, which I was arrested for 3 weeks later with the police again, which, yeah. So I had a bit of a very bad relationship with the police. So that was the 3 violent charges. They said, you've got to be remanded.
Wow. So you become Milton Keynes Most Wanted.
Yeah, for that particular time. Yeah, it was quite, yeah. And what the police were chucking a lad around. Right. And I said, take it easy with him. And they had to go at me and I just saw red again. And I was just, at that young age, I had just instant.
And when you was remanded, when you actually went to court, what did you then get some prison time as well?
So what I did, I got put on remand and I served it all on remand. So I went in 1994, exactly 30 years ago, and just came out in 95. So the Section 18 got dropped, which would have been the serious one. That would have been a few years. And it was the other ones I just got the time for. So I did 94 to 95, not long.
Right. And was that when you met Norman?
Well, that's when we started training together, yeah, because I walked in there and Norman said, what are you doing in here? Because we knew each other anyway from the gym.
Oh, you remember you said you
Yeah, we knew each other from the gym from years ago. So Norman said, let's start boxing and let's get some gloves in and let's get you on the right path. Away from all the crime, away from all the trouble. So that's when we started wrapping the socks on, fighting each other.
So Norman really was sort of like your guardian angel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He sort of come in and said,
100%.
follow this path, and then helped you through, so that when you actually left, and obviously he was training you inside. When you come out, did you sort of know what you wanted to do?
I loved it then, the boxing. So to spar with Norman I was really proud of doing that tough sparring in the prison. So getting out, Norman opened a little boxing gym, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a club, down the Corey.
So I started training with Norman in there. Then I moved on to the amateur clubs, didn't I? Started fighting for the amateur clubs, got a card, licence, all various clubs in Milton Keynes, and then started winning all the fights, and then got put into title fights and started winning them. And then, a successful career. I only lost to the one bloke, but he beat me twice. Matthew Granger, his name is. Right. And he was a double ABA super heavyweight champion. So he beat people like David Price, big David Price.
Yeah.
He beat him by 10 points and stuff like that. Right. So he was a good amateur. And he beat me by 1 point in our final. So I was pretty pleased with how I got on.
What year did you actually turn pro?
I turned pro 2001.
Right, okay.
So I had a good year in the amateurs. I think I had about 8 or 9 fights, won all of them except the final.
Yeah.
With Ricky, and then turned pro with Kelly Maloney.
Right.
And then had the 4 fights, lost the 4th, didn't train properly, and then got disheartened and went off the rails for 6 years and got back into a little bit of crime, debt collecting, stuff like that. And then got back into boxing again and had the big fights at the end.
Did you have any other problems with the law or going to jail, or did you manage to sort of stay outside?
I never went back to prison.
Right, okay.
But I was probably lucky.
Right, okay.
I was lucky.
That's where the lucky
I was lucky.
Yeah,
I was sensible.
His mate got killed. Yeah.
I was sensible. Did things. If I was doing something, I'd be very
lucky.
Very
Luciano. That's it. Yeah.
What happened to your mate then? But was that
which one was that?
The one that got killed. The one you.
No, the one abroad.
Oh, my boss. Yeah, that was my boss. He got found shot in the car. Yeah, that was when I was 20.
Right.
So what he was involved, in the newspaper it said gangland execution. And I went over to Amsterdam with him for a few months, keep him company.
Yeah.
And he was over there working, doing what he was doing. And then I flew back. He flew back.
He was minding for him, wasn't he? Looking after him.
He flew back to Britain and then left me over there. There was nothing for me to do. So I then got bored after 2 weeks and flew home myself.
It's a weird place to Amsterdam, unless you're into getting stoned every day. I think
I'm not into that.
No,
either,
me
no.
neither. But it's got that. Every time I've been there, I feel like I need to have a wash. It's a weird place.
Yeah. I've been there a couple of times since, and well, I was there 1996. This was, and I flew back. He then went back over. Said, "You're not going to come back out." I said, "No, I'm done with it all. I'm staying back in Britain, doing my own thing over here." And I think he was found shot in the car maybe 3 or 4 weeks later.
Wow.
And in the news, our newspaper, our local newspaper, big title, big headline, gangland execution. And it seemed to say stuff about him being involved in all these sort of crimes, importing stuff and this, that and the other. It said he was involved, known to the police. But then there was also another story that came out that there was a suicide note. So I don't know how you get two stories so vastly
It's just misinformation.
Misinformation, yeah. On the page of the newspaper, it said that. But I'd flown back, so I'd got out of it all.
Right. And then when you then went back into the boxing, and you turned pro, what was do you want to talk us through some of the people you fought? Because I know you fought some amazing fighters. Back then, people would, now it's sort of like you get fed a few people to build up your thing, whereas back then it was like everyone... It's changed boxing now, hasn't it?
Yes, I mean, it's still the same. You've got to have they call them journeymen, which is not disrespectful. They're there to sort of give you a test, but not too much of a test. I still had the same. I had the people that have lost more than they've won.
Yeah.
So I fought Tony Booth in my second fight. Tony Booth had I think, 120 fights.
Wow.
He'd won about 40 or 30 or something. But he was very experienced. I fought him in my second fight. And then I had a couple more fighters. But as it went on, I fought an unbeaten from Latvia called Radek Linkas. I think he was 6-0 with 6 knockouts. But then I got the big fights with Mervyn Turner, Anthony Joshua. Right. Was the big one on my... I think that was my last fight. But I had James Toney before that.
Right. I mean, James Toney was an amazing fighter.
Legend, yeah. That was in the prize fighter. So Mervyn rung up and said, do you want to be in the prize fighter? You know, where you fight 3 fights in one night if you win. I said, definitely. It was America versus England. And apparently it was Shannon Briggs that was meant to be on, but they changed it to James Toney.
Right.
So I was just looking forward to it, to fight the Americans. And it was myself, Michael Sprott. Who else was in it as well?
I used to train with Michael Sprott
because
I used to box at Palmer Star and he used to come down.
Yeah.
Do you remember George Smith?
Yeah.
So George Smith was my trainer and with Les Stevenson.
Yeah, Les as well. I know Les.
Yeah. And
Les did my corner for the ABAs.
Wow.
Good, very good boxer, Les, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, he fought John Conte before John Conte won a world title when his son Blue won the heavyweight ABAs, didn't he?
That's it. Blue, I remember Blue.
Well,
Les was in my corner for the ABA, all the ABA quarters, semis, final. I
remember, so it was you, Sprott.
It was me, Sprott, Tom Little and Larry Olabuamu.
Right.
Do you remember Big Larry? It was us 4 versus the Americans, which was James Toney, Jason Gavin, Brian Minto and another fella. I can't remember the other fella's name. But James Toney kept himself away. He sort of sat upstairs. Right. He didn't get involved in us. We all sat together the day before the fight in the hotel, the American team and the English team. We're sitting there having dinner, even though we haven't been drawn yet who we're going to fight. Oh, no, we had been drawn. We did know we'd been drawn, so I knew I was fighting James Toney.
Right.
So the American team were advising me what to do. They said, you can't knock him out. He's impossible to knock out. He's never been knocked out in 90 fights. So you're going to have to just touch him and move. They said, because his legs aren't that good now, his footwork. But my style is normally to attack, to try and get the knockout. So I had to sort of go against my boxing style.
I suppose if you did it, you might knock him out because he's not going to be able to run away if his legs are no good.
Yeah, well, the fact that he'd never been knocked out though by all these big punchers, I thought, well, you know what I mean, it's unlikely I can do it. He's fought Lucas Brown, he's fought Samuel Peter, he's fought he knocked out Holyfield.
Wow.
He came in to fight me at exactly the same weight as when he knocked out Holyfield. I think it was 15-10.
Mike Tyson, yeah. Holyfield beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Holyfield
James Toney
beat
wanted
Holyfield.
to fight Tyson, and Tyson refused to fight him. That's
He was a
how
legend.
good James Toney was. Yeah.
And how'd you get on? Because I can't remember. I don't remember seeing that fight.
He stopped me in the third on my feet.
Right.
So I took it easy in the first. Second, I stepped it up a bit. The third, he stepped it up, and I went coming in. He caught me with a couple of shots. So I went coming in, and he then I threw a big right at him, and he just slipped it. He's got really good at his head movements, like defence. He slipped it, caught me right on the chin. Only wobbled me for a second, And then the ref jumped in a bit premature because I was fine. I went, but he got stopped towards the middle of the last round.
Right.
I was happy to share a ring with the legends,
absolutely.
to be honest. I was just grateful to get those rounds with him.
And then after that fight, you fought Joshua.
Yeah, it was. I had another fight which I won.
Yeah.
I think first or second round knockout. And then I got a phone call, do you want to fight AJ at Wembley? And I said straight away, 100%.
It's difficult to say no, right?
Yeah, you can't say no to that. And it was on the Cole Foch George Groves rematch.
That was a great fight.
The biggest bill. Well, it was at the time the biggest night in British boxing.
Foch made me laugh because I'm good pals with him, and he actually said to me, he said when he started fucking about coming in on the bus, I knew he was going to lose. Right, because obviously the first one was a proper grudge match, and it did look like Foch was going to come unstuck in that, but then obviously he pulled it out of the bag and sparked him. But then when because he said I'm just ready to go again, and he said when the guys like rehearsing and getting on and off the bus, he said,
Did Foch come out on the bus?
No, for Groves did.
Oh, Groves did?
Trying to be a showman, like making it all big.
Because I don't remember, because I was pissed off because I had a broken eye socket at that point. So I was sitting up the top in a bad mood. Right. So I didn't really watch it.
So with AJ, how long did that last?
That first round, because what I did, we trained just to attack him full out for 2 rounds, just full pelt.
Right.
That's how we trained, because I thought there's no way I'm going to be at boxing for 6. Right. I think I was 38 years old at the time, and he's an Olympic champion. He knocked 6 people out in a row in the first, second round. So we just trained to attack him, which I did. Right. I came out and I was rolling underneath. Every time he threw a jab, I underneath, try to counter with a big right. But he's just too good. He was just getting just out of the way each time. I nearly got him with a big left hook, but he just got out of the way. And then he caught me with a few shots. And I through the gloves, that was. And I thought, flipping hell, even through the gloves, you can feel the power.
Yeah.
And then he got me with an uppercut at the end, which broke my eye socket and put me down. I got up about 8 or 9, but I couldn't see. I had a broken eye socket. But he's powerful.
And then after that fight, was that you retired then?
Yeah, well, I was looking forward to fighting again. I was lined up for a Southern Area title, but because of the eye socket, it took 3 months. I had no feeling in my face for 3 months on the right side. You could have put a pin in anywhere in my face, I couldn't feel it. So I had 3 months out, and I got a job in a building site in Liverpool as a manager, site manager, and that was it. Didn't go back to boxing. By that time, I was 40. So it's too late then.
And was you when Matty was boxing, Norman? Was you even though you weren't in his corner, did you go and watch him fight?
Oh yeah, I was always.
He was always there.
I was always there. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you can hear him on all the videos. You'll hear Norman.
Yeah. He was great, fantastic. Like you know what I mean. And he listened to me in prison. Like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He listened to me, changed his life around.
Well, it must make you proud, Norman, that you was able to sort of impart some wisdom and advice.
I could see a gangster around him. Like he had that gangster around there, that Lucky Luciano, and I knew he was going down that street. You know what I mean? And I said, "Listen," I said, "You know who the gangsters love?" He said, "No, who?" I said, "A good boxer." I said, "They're mental about boxing and fighting." I said, "You get a good boxer up there." I said, "They're," and he said, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, you got the ability there, like." After he smashed all the chairs, that was he punched them. They used to all come round us when we used to spy, and I used to grab them and throw them at them.
All the young offenders, all the prisoners.
But we was only playing, like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I used to play with them like they were my own kids, like you know what I mean.
Because we weren't allowed to actually do it. We weren't allowed to do that in there. They said no, you can't be sparring in the prison. But we did it anyway, and all the young offenders would be crowding around the window watching me and him fighting. We did it in the shower area because it was a big square. And he'd punch me.
Knocked him on the
He'd punch me in the shower, all the water would go over. But everyone would be watching it. Yeah, we got told off, didn't we? They said you can't do it, and we just carry on.
They were all the screws. I like them. You know what I mean? We had one PO there, a woman, like, and she was lovely. Like, I used to be very protective with a woman, like, because they did take stick now and again. And I used to be able to go around the prison how I choose, didn't I?
Yeah, they'd let him go wherever he wanted.
Yeah, and I mean, I used to shout. I wasn't a bully, like, but they put him in line now and again, like from Luton. As I remember, one of the fellas, Squeaky, come from over there, the Asian lot. And next time you'll have a dozen travellers come in, then a dozen. Corby, I didn't even know where Corby. I thought it was Scotland, like, but it's up by, and they'd all come in with Scottish accents and that. And in Gillespie, we had a big fella there.
I was in there, was he?
Yeah, Gillespie was in there. Like he got beat up when he was left, like, and I think he's crippled and stuff now, like. Wow. But you had some tough boys in there, you know. And
did you ever have any fights in prison?
Yeah, I had a row on the was it on visits, wasn't it? Like two gangs fight. It was stupid. I had the kids there and there. And of course I was a doorman, 20 years a doorman, like, you know what I mean? So it was nothing to me to get up and start, you know what I mean? That's enough now! Bring it up! Sit down! And they'd all sit down, like, you know what I mean? And the screws loved it, like, they'd come over to me, but
I'm surprised I didn't give you a uniform. Said, look, I'm put it on, fucking sort them out.
They give me a 6-hour visit, didn't they? Yeah. Wow. And but I wasn't a bully. I didn't really bother anyone, like, you know. And they said that it was getting out of order on the YP wing. And they said, would you like to go on there? And a few old gangsters there was on 1A. And they said, you can always come back there. You can go out. And I was wondering how fucking things are coming off. There was a Peter thief on the 1A wing. And I was wondering how all the stuff was coming off the wing. And I was watching it and I couldn't. And I said, this has got to stop now. I'm going to find out how it's done. Every time they done the laundry, they'll do the laundry 1A. So the adults would do with the YPs. Of course, there was chewing stuff out the cells and passing it on, like.
Right.
So I stopped all that and it quietened down, like, you know what I mean? There was no more taxing and that. But the screws, they were brilliant. I like some of them were doormen. I've been done the doors with them, like. Right. We had a what's his name now? The the bodybuilder, like.
Oh,
Tomo, yeah. Talk about criminals, like. When I got on the out, I bought an Irish bulldog off him. And it was crossed with something else. I'd just see the Irish bulldog, so I had a puppy, like. It turned out to be a greyhound, didn't it? I said, you ripped me off, like, the fucking thing. And that's a screw in prison, like, you know.
There you go. Someone says you can't ever trust a screw.
No!
Did you ever meet George Shipton? Did you ever meet George Shipton?
I've seen him, no, I don't think I met.
I didn't know if he was ever in
there. I can't remember all the names.
But he's a funny guy. He was on that Banged Up programme, but he's been around.
Yeah, I know you mean that, yeah. But Charlie Bronson had a lot of respect for Tomo, didn't he, as well?
Yeah, Charlie.
But don't buy a dog off him.
No. I don't know where he is now.
Did he say to you? He said to you,
no,
Norman,
I pulled him, he was laughing. So I had it in the back of the car and they said, that's a nice dog. Do you get it out? Does it go like? I said, you know, it's starting to growl now. No, do you race it? I said, what do you mean, like? It says a fucking greyhound in it, whip it. And
you had animals in the prison, didn't you?
Yeah, when I was in Spring Hill, wasn't it? Spring Hill.
Did you have an owl?
I had an owl. I had a pigeon in the.
I mean, it's just it's even an owl. It's on your shoulder, Norman.
A cat. They kept saying. I said, how do you know it's my cat? They said, Norman, get rid of the kitten, like. I found it where the pipes were, like. It had all his eyes swollen up. I had to get a tea bag and put it across his eyes. And it took this. As long as you left them along and got on with it, you know what I mean? Right. They never bothered me, like, you know what I mean?
When Tom sold you the dog, did he say to you, Norman, do you like dogs?
Tomo, right, Tomo.
Yeah, this goes out to you, Tomo.
Tomo. Don't trust a screw in prison because there's bent as anything on the outside, like. He must have laughed when I had the dog, like. They couldn't call it a pit bull, they called it an Irish bulldog. But it was a pit bull, like. But it was crossed with a whippet, like.
Right.
A greyhound. So the dog come out like, and they said, did you take that dog? I said, yeah. I said, it's growling, like. No, do you race it? And I fucking set it onto a rabbit and it's useless, didn't know what to do. Dog was fucking Tibet, I called it. Yeah. Crazy, like. So, and some of the screws, like, in prison were actually nice people, like. Right. And I like being nice to them, like. Yeah, they had a horrible job, like.
I mean, it's not a great job, is it, to have to, you know, because they could get attacked at any point of the day. Yeah. And like you said, you know, if you're in jail, you're a criminal, they're employed to look after the criminals. So you've got to kind of both show each other respect. And I'm sure some of them were probably no good, but the majority of them wanted to just get along with you and you get along with them.
It's like any race of people. I'm not racist. I'm not racist. I've not got against religion. Nothing against religion. I'm actually really a peaceful person. Like, I never how I got on the doors, but even now
You're a
on the
lover
doors,
and a
like,
fighter.
yeah, no, I'm and I know.
You're saying is treat
my
people
wife,
how,
yeah.
treat people how you want to be treated. That's
I'm
what I
placid.
believe.
I'm ever so placid, like, you know what I mean? But
I tell you what, though, I do like that voice when you raise your voice because you just sort of feel
It comes out of nowhere as well. When you
I used to do it on the YP wing when they were really naughty, like. I used to get them all downstairs, didn't I?
Yeah.
Line them up like, and say, this, we're not having this. This has got to stop, like. I said, these screws here, like, they decide what's the next prison you go to. And I said, if you're a naughty boy, you'll be going to Brixton. You'll be going to Scotland. And how about your parents, your mum and dad? How are they going to come and see you, like? Have you thought about, you ain't doing no prison sentence. Your parents are doing a prison sentence for you. I said, we're all stupid. I said, I'm the stupidest one. I'm stupid, but I'm learning. I want to learn you kids. You cannot beat the system. You can't beat the system. Yeah. You can't beat.
He was stopping the violence in there because there was so much violence between the young offenders. He was stopping them getting the weapons out on each other, so we would get them and.
Taxing
So
was terrible,
without Norman there would have been a lot more
Wow.
violence on that young offenders wing.
Was there a lot? I mean, when you was in prison, what was the sort of worst violence you both saw? I mean, I know you said that you didn't.
Well, I didn't. Yeah,
Were you there when the
stopped
boiling water got chucked on that?
Yeah,
the sugar?
I told him
That
not
was the
to do
worst
it.
one I saw.
I told him not to do it, and the screw said you went and talked to him. Like I said, I told him not to fucking do it. Like, you know what I mean? He's saying the bloke would grassed him up. Like I said, sugar in the water. Like I said, don't do that. I said that will scar the boy. Like I said, he's got family at home. Like I said, now behave yourself, and he did behave himself. But when he went over the block,
No, he chucked it on him.
Yeah, he did. But when he got put over the block from that, I went over the block and they took his mattress and pillows and everything. He was freezing cold, like, you know what I mean? And I said to the screw, look, sort him out, like. I said, I know he's a naughty boy. They said, what did you... I said, I told him not to do it, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
I said, he's silly, like, but I said, he's over there. I said, the window's open, like, he's got no blanket, no pillow, no bed. They took the bed and everything. He had nothing. And it was, what was it now? Fucking cardboard. The table was a cardboard table and the chair was a cardboard table. And I could hear this fucking, hey, I'm there. I was going, who the fuck, who's that? Shut up! I said, who's that? They said, that's Charlie Bronson. He used to have a sing-song, didn't he?
Right.
Yeah, but but I used to look after them. And if there was murder, some were up there for murder, like, you know what I mean?
I was there with that jug of the water. I was having a cup of tea.
I wouldn't allow it, like. I was angry because I told him, like, this is not happening, like. He lost his face, didn't he, like, you know what I mean?
There's a lot of slashings I saw in there. I just remember when you started shouting, it reminded me of that story about when my mates attacked you. I got 4 mates once that had a road rage thing with him.
You're probably the last person you want to be doing.
They're good pals of mine.
Oh, that was...
They're good pals of Steve.
Yeah, I'll tell you, can I just say this bit? That was at the gallery. The gallery. I fell out with the gallery lot, and when I was on the steroids, I started going mad. And I went up there with an axe and started smashing the bar up. And when I come out of prison, Mr. Man what owned all the businesses, he said, I'll employ you, like. And it was Mr. Man I had to throw out there one night. They had a party. They said, throw him out, because he come up there for his rent. So I've got him in a headlock, pulling him out, like. He said, I own this place. They got to pay the rent, like. I said, not today, mate. And this is how the steroids, it was...
Right.
And you're thinking, like, you're getting bigger, you're getting stronger, and you know what I mean? Everything, while you're on it, really, I didn't know steroids was a drug, but it's no different to cocaine, it's no different to speed, it's no different to any other drug, like, you know what I mean? And the way it changed me from a beautiful natured person, what I'm proud to say I am, it turned me into an animal. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I started with the axe, then it went to a 12-bore, like. Right. And I didn't shoot anyone. I accidentally shot a few people, but it was crazy. You're getting shot at as well.
Doors and the windows went up, didn't they?
Yeah, right. But you know what I mean? This is other people.
Right.
Didn't happen. And I'm a good boy.
You've got to tell that story. My mate said to me, we had a fight with Norman once. I went, you're kidding me. they all jumped out of their car with weapons, didn't they? They all 4 had weapons, pulled up. Did you tell him what happened?
Oh, they pulled the spray out, didn't they?
Well, they were following you in the car, weren't they? And they were overtaking you on the road.
Those lot, yeah.
them lot.
Yeah, they come out with a knife as well.
And a kosh,
and one had a kosh as well. And they've jumped out of the car. I pulled up behind them. I've slowed down, like, and I've jumped down. So what the fucking hell are you doing, like? And they've come over with a knife. I pulled a knife off him and I ripped his jacket in half. And the other one, the bar was hitting me on the back, like. So I took the bar off him.
Them telescopic koshes? He said it felt like a car aerial.
One stayed in the car. One stayed in the car.
He's a sensible one.
Chasing. I'll have you! You bastards! I'll stab you and I'll cost you and I'll fucking murder you! And I was chasing around the car. Of course, the bloke inside looked at me and he locked the car. They were trying to get in the car, weren't they? They were locked out of the car. And I didn't get hold of him.
He took a knife off him. Now he goes, that's dangerous. He went,
but that's how mad.
He cut his jacket.
That's how mad I was. You know
this
what I mean?
what happens with knives. They cut things.
Yeah.
I know. Ripped his jacket. I didn't stab him because
he cut the
bless
jacket.
him. But he ripped his. They ended up getting me nicked. I kept the knives and the kosh, like.
Right.
The old bill come around, and one woman was at the door, like. And when I went out the door, the old bill covered around me, like. I said, they said it's about that thing. But the thing I done wrong is I smashed the car up with a kosh as well.
Right.
Because, I don't know, I was stupid. I shouldn't have done it, like, you know what I mean? That was his car. But the way I see it, like, you know what I mean? I could have been a granny in a car or something, like. And I didn't cause them no trouble, like, you know. It was them attack me, like, you know. But 2 weeks later, the driver, because they were road ragers, like, he got killed in the car. And I think half his body come out of the car and the car went on fire, didn't it?
Yeah, he died.
And it was a shame, like, you know what I mean?
You didn't have to, that's a bit extreme, then. Was that because he upset you?
No, honestly, no.
I'm pulling your leg,
no,
I'm pulling your leg.
No.
The other lads he's friends with now, I introduced them because one of them was my pal.
Oh, you say he was fighting a traveller down in Luton, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Down in Luton.
I thought it'd be funny to
And
get
he
my mate
said,
to pick
"Tell
Norman
me
up
what
without
you've done,
telling
tell
him it
me
was
what you've
Norman.
done." Yeah.
I said to my mate Steve, can you pick my mate up from outside the club? He's like, yeah, I'll go and pick him up. He did.
That
I
was
didn't
the
tell him it was
point, wasn't
Norman.
it?
I bet he was like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the one I was chasing around the car, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the one, yeah.
Was it a bit awkward when you got in the car?
No, they both started laughing.
I laughed. He would shit himself.
I
didn't
knew
he,
it
bless
would
him,
be.
like.
I knew it'd be all good.
But I don't hold grudges,
No.
like, you know what I mean? I live and let live, like, I forgive. I'm a very forgiving person, like, you know what I mean? And I mean, I wasn't good in my day, especially on the steroids and that. You know, I had a bad temper, like, but, you know, I don't agree going to prison. It's no good for anyone, but for someone like me with no education and finding it hard to make a living and going on steroids, that was drugs, you know, no different to coke, no different to anything else. You know what I mean? Top athletes are on it, like, and I thought it'd be good for me. But it all backfired, like, and I needed that time away. I went to see the doctor there, like, and because I went to see the doctor before I went down, I said, look, my temper's going like. I said, I feel like killing people at times. Like, it was the steroids, wasn't it? And when I went into prison, like, I had to go through that again. It was a psychiatrist.
Right.
And he showed me a horse with 2 legs and asked me what was wrong with it. And I thought he was taking the piss, like. I said, you sure, mate? Then he showed me a frog with 3 legs. And I fucking went, they put me as being psychotic, didn't they?
Right.
But I wasn't really psychotic, like, you know what I mean? But it didn't help my court
What
case.
was the correct answer then? What?
I think it's one of them pictures. Is it them pictures they show you?
They're winding you up. What it is,
yeah.
It was while I had a visit as well. And they stopped me for the visit and said, I went to see him, like.
A frog's got 4 legs or 2 legs?
Before.
They got 4, right?
They showed me a frog with 3 legs and asked me what was wrong with it. Then it showed me a horse.
You should have had a laugh at him since it's a giraffe.
Yeah.
I said, it's pissed. I said, how f***ing frogs. Then a pair of glasses with the lens missing out of it. And they said, what's up with those glasses? And I thought he was taking the piss, didn't I? And he on my
you can't have a joke with these people, though, because if you say something funny, they're actually write it down. Like,
no, it's
he is
psychotic.
mad. He is mad.
But I wasn't. I mean, I don't know, I might have been. But it didn't help my court case, like, you know what I mean? But I never wanted to hurt anyone. Like, I just wanted an easy life. You know what I mean? As a kid, like I did, you get a lot of shit, but you dunce, double D, you're in illiterate, like, and gangs won't have you in them. You can't join people, like, and they think you're a moron, like, you know what I mean? Stupid, like. And sometimes when they used to go around the boys' house, they're not you, Norman, like. And I promised myself as a kid, like, I'd never treat anyone the way I was treated.
Right.
And I've always helped. And even with Matt, like, you know, Matt, I could see him going down. He was a gangster coming, like, you know what I mean? He was a lucky Luciano. Luciano was fantastic because they nearly killed him once, and he went back to the bloke who nearly killed him and made up for him. Then he ended up killing him, like, you know what I mean? It was crazy. Lucky Luciano, who was very intelligent. But what I liked, he was from Sicily, but he lived in New York, Manhattan. And he even when he was in prison, like, all the chiffrery, the harbour, like, he controlled the harbour. So I think it was the Prime Minister, like, and his boys went to see him, like, and said, look, can you control the harbour? Because Hitler's getting his boys in, like, and they, you know, there's going to be a war, like, you know. And he did. That's why they let him out. But they wouldn't let him back in America. He had to go back to Sicily.
Right.
But then he went from Sicily, he went to... Cuba. And that's when all the gambling and everything went down in Cuba, like, you know what I mean? Then Castro come along and took it over and it stopped it all, didn't they? For America out.
I mean, when you talk about the mob guys, I think it was the 60s, the Lucky Lucianos, the Mayalanskis, all those guys, I mean, that was the golden era of the mob, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
You've had Michael Francis on, haven't you?
Yeah, Michael come on. Yeah, he was fun.
A lot like Michael.
Yeah, because was you going to do a tour with him?
No, I was going to be on
Kevin,
one. It was with Kevin, myself, Kevin Lane, Peter Fury, and Kenny Collins who did the Hatton Garden robbery.
Yeah,
but obviously Kevin got arrested. So
I mean, what happened? Because obviously I heard that he'd been recalled.
Yeah,
but and a lot of people said, "Oh, it's because of this, it's because of that." Do you actually know what happened?
What actually happened was he went to drop his son off, which he does every week when he goes down, just a couple of hours drive, and his ex, who he's not allowed contact with, they've got a thing where they don't contact each other, they're not allowed near. She's ran out and there's a little photo album that Kevin's boy has with all the days out they have together.
Right.
So she's come out and pushed the photo album through the door of the car to put it back in. Kev's sitting in the driver's seat. She was on the other side, the passenger side, and he's pushed it back out. She's then claimed assault. How can you assault someone from the driver's seat who's outside the passenger side? You can't, can you?
Right.
So that's what got him recalled. You know what recalls are like? Any little thing, and they'll bring you back in.
See, but I mean,
he's got a no further action on that, by the way, now.
But when you're on license, which obviously Kevin was, if anybody brings up, like you said, like her, then that could...
It immediately gets you back in.
So if there's no further action on that...
He should really, the system should be, you get an NFA, you walk. Right. But it's not like that. You've still got to go through parole.
Right.
So he's still in there, and then what they've done now, you've heard what's happened lately.
No.
Right, they moved him into a prison. I won't go into too much detail, but they moved into a prison where there's another man in there who was his co-defendant. It's all in his book.
Right, so he mentioned this guy, and was this the guy that got him in trouble or busted him up?
It's all in the book, yeah. It's all to do with his murder case that went back. Right. So he's not allowed in the same prison as this fella. And he's told him, if you're moving me there, there's going to be trouble. You can't put us in the same thing. And they've ignored him and just put him in. They must have done it on purpose, I think, my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion. Why would you move, of all the prisons, you move him to that one?
Right.
So you've moved him to that one, something's happened, and now, without saying too much, because I don't know what's happening yet, Kev could be possibly looking at a charge, I don't know. But yeah, there was an incident.
Right.
So he's now been moved back. He was in Elmley. He's in Highdown now.
Right.
He's back in Highdown. So he's got a lot of supporters out there.
Yeah.
Kev, and anyone wants to get hold of him, he's in Highdown.
But if what he does get charged, what could that mean that he'd be spending quite a while?
Yeah, I mean, I can't see how they could charge him. I spoke to Peter Fury about this, and he said for them to charge him, they've knowingly moved him to that prison. So the authorities have caused it.
Right.
So how can they then charge him, especially moving him onto the same wing? So and it wasn't Kevin that instigated it, from what I've been told. So Kevin sold it himself. Right. So I can't see how we could get charged with it.
But if you do speak to Kevin, tell him I said hello.
I will. Yeah.
I enjoyed having him on. Actually, we had a really good laugh.
I will do. Yeah.
Great guest.
Yeah, I'll probably speak to him this week. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great guest. It's I suppose for him though, it's a shame in it because he's got great stories. He's charismatic, he's funny, like really. I mean, he could be a stand-up comedian.
He's brilliant, Kev. You met him, haven't you?
He's very intelligent.
We had a night out together.
Yeah.
We put one of my YouTube videos is
extremely intelligent.
Yeah, he is.
And I didn't think. I only thought he was 20 years old.
Yeah, he looks good for his age.
I mean,
you know why, don't you? Because he has a beauty regime. He told me. He said he actually moisturises. He has a little nip and tuck, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, there's nothing wrong with looking young.
Oh, he looked
no one wants to grow old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he was a nice fella. And the other fella was nice, wasn't
Dave,
he?
Dave Gunn.
They're both lovely people.
Yeah, we had a night out. Me, Norman, Dave Gunn and Kev Lane, we did a little...
And it was great. I said, thank you, because I'm meeting celebrities, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's great. And you listen to them, and I love listening to people's stories. And I mean, someone said, Norman, do you want to do a tour? I said, who with? They said, Freddie Foreman.
Right.
I couldn't fucking believe it.
Right.
I said, Freddie Foreman. I said, you joking? He wants me to go on to... They said, yeah. And I met one of the nicest bloke I've ever met, like, you know what I mean? And he'd sit down, like, and he'd say, look, Norman, I was born in the Second World War, like, and my nan used to tell the same stories as well. They said when the dogs used to howl and the sirens used to go off, we used to hide down in the trains, the trams, like, where down under the ground, like. Right. When we'd come out, like, sometimes the neighbours wouldn't make it into you know, they'd be stuck in their house, like. The bombs would hit it and there'd be bodies everywhere, like, a head here and here, a leg there, like. And he said, I had four brothers in the army, and we didn't know if they were coming back, like. I said, that's the life we had as kids. I mean,
that really does. It's harrowing, isn't it? If you was actually living in that, you know, like you said, you know, you might not see them later on, or you might find their leg over there, and you know.
This is what he said. You come out, like, and he said, I went home, like. He said we went home and my house was on fire. It'd been bombed, like, you know what I mean, and neighbours. It must have been horrible, like. It must have been horrible. Even Nan, like, she's from the East End. She used to come. She used to tell me all the spooky stories and that. And really, we've got it easy, haven't we? Really, compared to them.
Yeah. But I mean, but obviously, if you speak to the are they Gen Zs? They say that it's really hard now. Everything's really hard.
Yeah. So generations. Yeah. Gen Zs. Yeah.
But you know, and obviously recently,
everything's changing, isn't it? Now, you can't say anything, do anything.
But Dave Courtney, obviously, you both knew Dave.
Oh, I love Dave.
And obviously,
I was supposed to fight him, wasn't I?
That was a shocker, that was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, lots of people had different sort of opinions on that. I mean, I hadn't seen him. I used to see him at premieres and different events, but I always found him to be the life and soul of the party, funny.
He was always funny.
I would never have put him down to go out that way. You know what I mean?
No, because he loved life, didn't he?
He called us just a few days before he done it, like. Yeah. And when I gave him a cuddle, like, I said, what's up, Dave? And he put his head down, like, and he was tearful, like. I said, what's up, buddy? I said, come in the car with us. We'll go down to the boat, like. We'll go a boat party.
The week before. This was the week before.
He didn't want to get on the gangster. He wasn't himself then, like, you know what I mean? And I'll give him a kiss, and I'm glad I did. I'll give him a kiss and a cuddle.
He knew then, didn't he? I think he knew then. He knew for months before that he was going to do it.
He used to phone me up there once a month and stuff, and
I spoke to him 2 days before. I was doing a video on Dave Legino, who you knew as well, didn't you?
Dave was a great guy.
Yeah, Dave was a good mate of mine as well.
Lone Wolf.
Yeah, Lone Wolf. So I love Dave. He was sort of, one of my favourite people.
Because he was on one of his extreme, like, he used to go running for like 70 miles, didn't he, in the desert and stuff.
We was in Death Valley. He died in Death Valley, the hottest place on earth. And there's a lot of, whether he did it, whether he walked out there knowing he weren't going to come back.
He your film and the pictures.
He came to Milton Keynes. He used to come to Milton Keynes to see me. But
I put Dave in a couple of movies, so I'll be Dave, you know.
Yeah, he's lovely, one of my favourite people. Great fighter.
He has some good stories.
He's amazing stories as well. He's done all the door work, the debt collecting, all that's the criminal stuff in America he's done, and it's the cage fighting. He fought Dan Severn and Chemo, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I was doing a video about Dave, like a tribute video, So I thought I'd ring Dave Courtney up to get a few little more bits of information. This was on the Thursday before Dave topped himself on the Sunday, wasn't it? 2 days later. And he was normal. He went, Matty, call me anytime you want, 3-4 times a day, any information you need about Dave, I'm here for you. And just sounded, normal.
He never with me, like he never got me involved in any violence or anything. Drugs, he knew I didn't take drugs or anything, like. And they could have used me. I was an easygoing man, like, you know what I mean? I was a bit crazy as well, like. He could have used me for a few jobs or whatever, but they never, like. He showed me a lot of respect, like. And I think Joey had me down to fight him, and that caused a bit of trouble, like. It wasn't nice, you know what I mean? It wasn't nice for Dave, like. And I didn't like it, you know what I mean? And I went, so what's up, Dave? He said, like, you know, the fight and blah, blah. And he pulled out, and they should do things like that. We're mates, you know what I mean? We don't fight mates, don't fight mates. But there again, I'll tell you what, mate, if I was on top, I would have taken a dive for him. Right. That's what mates are for, like, you know what I mean? He could have been the governor then. He would have made a great governor, like, you know what I mean? Right. And it should have been him what was the governor, really, like, the East End, like.
And when you earned that title and that belt, who did you fight to win the...
First bloke was JJ. I see him fighting the fight before for the British title. Did he win it?
I'm not too sure.
But he was good in that fight.
Yeah.
But with me, there was something wrong because I didn't know. I never knew I was fighting anyone, like, you know what I mean? I reckon Joey and the Ricky English, they were trying to help me out, like, but they didn't have to help me out. I was a street fighter, bare-knuckle fighter. Right. You know what I mean? I was a novice boxer. My dad had a boxing club, like, you know what I mean? And I didn't need any help. I wanted what they said. I said, look, give me a few warm-up fights. Yeah. Then I'll fight for the title. And they said, no, fight for the title first, then have a few, you know, well, it was only the title fight to begin with. Yeah. And I thought, fucking hell, how am I going to win this, like? And I didn't know who I was fighting. I went down to meet him, like, when I got there, and it was JJ, and I shook his hand. His dad was there and his brother there. He said, look, you won't, if I go down, you won't kick, you know, start jumping on my head and that, like. I said, no. I said, but hold on. I said, well, what's this about you going down, like? I said, you ain't a journeyman, are you? He said, no, I'm just saying, he said, the doctor says you've bitten people in the past as well, like. I said, no, I have bitten people. I told him I've never bitten people. I think it was Dick, my coach, and my corner man, because when we got in a tight spar once, he was a good martial artist. A master Toney trained him, and I bit him, like, he had to go to hospital. I think he told him.
Was you hungry or did you just...
Well, I don't know why. In streets.
Is it just because you're in the zone? And
no, I've done it in the street as well. That's terrible.
That's how we beat the blokes with the hockey sticks. Bit them.
Like,
you turned into that greyhound and you start going,
Well, it's desperation, isn't it? You're desperate.
Well, I say that fight.
And once you bit him, if you're bitten a finger or you're bitten an ear off or something like that, and there's a few of them, like, no, they'd have that. They could be tougher than me, but they wouldn't want to fuck with me to lose an ear or a nose or something or a finger.
What you should have got more. Paid a fucking necklace.
No, he asked me about that.
Fuck that geezer.
And I honestly, it's the honest God truth, and they can tell you. And Joey, he gets on. He does a couple of little porkies, bless him. I love him to pieces, so I forgive him. It don't bother me, like. Right. But you can ask the pair of them, like. I went up to see them. I said, "What the fuck's going on here?" Like, they said, "What?" I said, "My man AJ." Like, I said, "He's talking about fucking me jumping on him and biting him and stuff like that." I said, "He looks a bit worried, like." I said, "This is the fucking title fight for the belt, innit?" it?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, what you fucking, you got me a journeyman, you got him to take a dive." They said, "No." I said, "None of my fights is a fucking dive." I said, "I fight properly, proper fights." I was an old man then, I was in my 50s, like. I was weighing about 20 stone, like. I wanted a few fights so I could fight for the title, like, you know what I mean? But when I went out there, like, I had to hit him in the bollocks. I hit him in the bollocks to knock him out, like. And he went down and showed me his bollocks after, like. Because he knew I was raring, like. I said, "What'd you go down for?" And he said, "You're fucking swollen up, look at him." And he was, all the boys I fought, like, I liked them. They were good lads, like. There was another big tall one. His arms are bigger than my fucking head. Right. So because I was sparring with lightweights, I could move, I could dodge. and he couldn't hit me. He was fucking throwing these big punches. I kept dodging him all the time. And I knew sooner or later, like, sometimes I've got my own gym down the barn, like. Sometimes it takes me 3 rounds to warm up, like. And I used to just take my time. And when I hit them in the solar plex, they would go down, except for the big Welsh fella. What was his name?
I can't remember. He was, yeah.
Oh, he fought,
I know you mean, the referee.
Yeah. Who did he fight? That light heavyweight? Well, went on to fight Hitman Hearns.
I forgot his name, but yeah.
He fought world champions and everything, like. But I was thinking my fist into his belly, like. He was falling down. He kept getting back up, and I thought, "Fucking, what's he doing getting back up?"
Yeah, he was an ex-pro.
That is demoralising.
Yeah, I wanted Matt. I thought I couldn't beat Matt. No one could beat fucking Matt. Not in this country, like, you know what I mean? He was special, like, and he was there. And if I was to lose, I wouldn't mind losing to Matt, like, you know what I mean? I was an old man. I couldn't keep fighting. You know what I mean? I didn't know who they were. He had history. JJ had 30 fights before. Right. And he was going to turn pro, but he never. But after that fight I had with him, I think he threw the rest of the fights he had. Like, you know what I mean? He was never the same again. But I said to Joey and Ricky English, I ain't fucking fighting journeymen. I ain't having people taking a dive for me either. I said, I'm here for the real fucking thing, like. And I thought they've taken me for they think I'm a fucking idiot. I can't fight or something. Right. But I had total respect to them. Like, we moved on eventually. Like, I went for was it Spartan now?
Yeah, Spartan.
Who's the boss
Bare-knuckle.
there? Who's the best player?
Christian.
I spoke to him before.
Yeah,
never
Christian
met him.
Roberts. Yeah, he puts on a good show.
Yeah,
he puts on a good show.
I've got a fighter doing it now, Big Adam. Right. So I've trained him from scratch, and he's had 3 fights in hay bales. This is 3 fights. He's won all 3 fights within 30 seconds. Wow. All bare knuckle in hay bales. He's massive. He makes me look small.
Wow. Oh, he is
Big Adam.
But he's fast.
He's got a world title fight. He's got a Canadian coming over now.
He's fast. He's quick.
Yeah, he's fast.
Quick.
19 stone.
Wow. And the boy,
bear.
Oh,
he's all hairy.
Christ.
But he's dangerous.
The boy he fought, like, he said, he was like that all afternoon. He said, I've never been hit so hard before in my life. Like, he said, even like if you don't think it's a hard punch, it's hard, like. And the bloke's like a bear. He's big. Yeah. I used to do the doors in Buckland, like. I must have met him there a few times. That was a White Hart.
Tough sport, that is, in them hay bales. It's like different.
It's a different game, like, yeah.
I like watching it. I don't want to actually be in there.
Yeah. It's not about so much skill. It's just you're stuck in there. You toughness. Yeah. And who lands the big punches, how much you can take.
That's why I moved on from Caesar's Palace into the bare knuckle, like, because you know what I mean. It was a real thing, like.
Respect to anyone who gets in there.
I respect to it, and I don't say a loser. 2 people get in, like, just the bottle, like, they're both champions in my eyes, like. But whoever wins or whoever comes second, like, I always go over and talk. I have a habit of shaking their head. Of course, they got broken fucking knuckles. Right. Lucky I ain't been chinned yet, innit? But it's nice, you know what I mean? They come out, like, and you don't get no trouble in the atmosphere. No, you'd think, like, fucking a few hundred people there, and
is it just mainly fellas watching, or do you? Is it
no mixture?
Oh, right, wicked.
Yeah, you get a mixture. Wicked. Yeah, all good days.
I didn't know if it was too. You know, because obviously it's like taking boxing to a bit more, making it a bit more extreme. Whether women would still like that.
It looks like the old school days, isn't it? Back in the day when you'd have like the Travellers doing it in hay bales, it's like that. But it's now he's got all doctors there, and he's got like food and drinks there and music. Right. Yeah. So it's really well organised. All the people are lovely. There's never any trouble, is there?
No,
it looks
anyone
brutal.
out there, like, you'll have the contacts. Contact him, like, and go to one of the shows. You don't know what you're missing, like. And the people are lovely there. I love it there, like, you know what I mean?
All the opponents always talk before and after.
Even the bloke who was boxing, like, you chat to the bloke our man was fighting. Right. Yeah, you go, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, camaraderie.
He said, I was a bit fucking nervous. Look at the fucking size of him, like. He said, I don't. He said, fucking hell. He said, he's a big fella. I said, mate, I wouldn't fight you, let alone him. I said, I wouldn't fight none of you. And the bottle they've got, like, you know, and they really fucking go for it, like, you know. And my heart, I feel scared for them, like, and I can't believe I used to do all that. Yeah. I used to do the bare knuckle fight, and like, I never lost the street fight, and I preferred the street fight. The street fight was generally against a few other people, and that was in the pubs. That's when there was no license. That's when you had to be like the tough man of the pub, like, you know. But I only done it because I needed the money, like. And when they used to come round, then when they used to cause me trouble in the pub, I used to go around their house the next day or a week later or trace them down, like. And I used to go, you know, I've got children to feed. Now I'm at your house and you've got kids there, or you know what I mean? How do you feel about it, like? You know what I mean? What's it like now? And over the years, like, it slowed down, like, you know what I mean? But I think I was going fuck. I think the steroids sent me fucking loopy-loop. I started chopping up pubs and fucking accidentally shooting people and fucking houses up and windows and cars and, you know what I mean? The best thing was for me to go get put down in prison, and the real people that done the bird was the wife and the kids, like, you know what I mean? And the people what suffered, like, you know what I mean? It's out of character for me, like, you know? But to help someone like Matt Legg out and to see him achieve life, you know what I mean? And he shouldn't have been there, and he's a lovely fella. It's probably worth it, mate. You know what I mean? Crazy, isn't it?
And if you look, like, now you're the ripe old age of 62, Norman, and you look at your life and your experiences and what you've been through, what anybody that's watching or listening to this show, what advice, if Uncle Norman was going to give him some advice in life, what would it be?
Well, the YP's in prison, like, when I said I wanted to get them anger and management, like, but they said, no, they made the wrong decisions. That's why they're in prison. Well, you've got to decide to make the right decisions and not the wrong decisions, like, you know what I mean? I used to want to be a monk when I was a kid. Unbelievable. That's why in prison, Spring Hill, I had a cat who used to come back, and the Scrooge goes, we know it's yours because it keeps going onto your bed. Right. Everything. I had loads of fish. They knew I had them, but because I was nice-natured, like, they let me get away with it. Kindness. Just be fucking nice. Just try and get on, like, you know what I mean? I mean, if all I get in life is my wife, then I'm happy. You could offer me £5 million to move to Australia, and I'd rather be with my wife because she's Filipino, like, she's absolutely the best thing. I think my mum and dad, they're in heaven now. I think they sent her to me. Right. You know what I mean? And every day I wake up and she says, I'm very grateful. Tell them what you say to me. She says, I'm so grateful, like, you married me, like, you know what I mean? You've helped me so much.
If you made that offer to lots of people, said, you know, £5 million to be wife, I think some people would say, I'll have the £5 million.
No, they would,
You're a lucky man. I'm a lucky man.
I wouldn't.
Right. I'm a lucky man because I've been with my wife for 23 years, and it sounds like you're happily married.
She's
as well.
got me up here. I didn't know.
Right.
I went to get on the train and I thought it was the lock, like you pull out and you walk up the stairs, like it's a press button, isn't it?
Mate. That's the old school. We used to be out open the windows.
They're like little buses. No, that's what I said to you. On the way down, so I used to pull the window down, like, you know what I mean? And things have changed so much now. On phones, you got phones, used to be the red boxes, and everything, like. And I'm just glad to say, like, you know what I mean? If I knew I only had my life, my wife and my life, that would do me, like. I'm happy just with her, like. She does everything for me, like. She helps. I wouldn't have known how to get here today. Right. She loves me.
So what's your wife's name?
Nanette.
Did you do a romantic one, or was you down on one knee, or roses?
Everything I did was all nice, wasn't I? Yeah. Yeah, it was difficult to live with me because I was been single for about 10 years. I had to raise my kids by myself. Right. And I say to her every day now, like, I must have been hard to live with, and I apologise to you, like. I said, but I really do love you, and I'm so grateful you're with me. I said, anyone could offer me anything, and I'd just be happy with her, like, you know what I mean? Amazing. It's fantastic, like,
And how old are you now, mate?
48 now.
And same question, if you was looking, any of our viewers or listeners, if you was going to impart some worldly advice, what would you say?
Make the most of your time because it goes like that, and don't have regrets. If you want to do anything, follow your dream and just go for it, and just don't procrastinate, don't waste time, because it just, before you know it, you're nearly 50.
Do you know what? That's great advice. Lots of people are told they can't do things. Lots of people don't have someone saying to them, you can achieve if you believe. Do you know what I mean? And
Be positive. Be positive.
And it's not wanky claptrap, read The Secret and you'll be rich.
This is unbelievable. He'd come to me at the Agora, and now and again he'd go on benders and get really depressed.
And me?
Yeah. And he'd come to me and he was at the lowest. I don't know what was going on with his girlfriend. I don't know what was going on with this. And I had a mate there called Ron, and he could pick up vibes off people, you know what I mean?
Spiritual type.
And I said, come here. I said, Ron, have a word with my mate. I said, he's the boxer, this, that, and the other, He told him about all his fights, and his girlfriend went to prison.
Yeah, he told me I was going to lose my
Yeah.
next fight.
Right.
And I said, no. I said, I won all my fights. I won the last 10. He goes, no. He goes, you're going to lose your next fight. And he said, something's going to go wrong in training, which it did. I injured my back. But everything he said came true. And he said, you're a lot of stuff he said, he goes, you're working with some dodgy, you're doing some work which is bad and going to get you in trouble. And he said, be careful. He basically warning me about a few things that were coming up. And Norman put him onto me. Didn't ask for money, just advised me.
Were you happy for the advice? Or
I was happy for the advice.
Right.
He was right. He was right.
Wow.
He was spot on about a few other things as well.
His girlfriend went to
I didn't
prison.
believe in all that sort of stuff back then.
Sometimes you need
died,
that experience to then believe.
Yeah, I then thought he didn't ask for money, so he wasn't doing it for cash. He did it genuinely just to advise me what was going to happen. And he was right. I did lose the next fight. I injured my back.
Right.
But yeah,
And he still fought. He
I still
crippled
fought,
himself. He couldn't hardly stand, could he? Who do we have? We had Norman Parker come up to watch him fight.
Yeah, I remember Norman.
yeah, Norman came on.
I actually met him because he wanted
Yeah.
to do. He's dead now, isn't he?
Yeah, he passed away.
Has he passed away?
Yeah.
Was he over Spain? He was
He's
teaching,
Isle of Wight,
wasn't he?
wasn't he? Because he come to see me because he had a book. Is it the Parker House Tale?
Parker's
Yeah.
Tale. That was
and he,
good, yeah.
And he wanted to turn it into a movie, and we had a meet up, and I think he must have died shortly after that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Must have been the effects of meeting me.
That'd have been
No,
good
he
actually
come
if you
out-
got
yeah.
together doing that.
The-
But we were talking about it, and then
Yeah.
he just
Yeah.
went, and then
These were the early days, people coming, you know what I mean? And there'd always be coach loads who come. They love Matt.
Right.
Matt's a lovely fella, I just hope he gets the right type of. I think filming is his thing, documentaries and that.
But I was going to ask you actually, what are your plans for the future, Norman? Have you thought about? Because I know you've written a book.
The new governor. The new governor. What? I had someone phone me up once. It was Barrett. Is it or Barrett?
I don't know.
And they said, you got to stand down from being the governor or else they're going to kill you, I said, all right, and I put the phone down and I made a phone call. I said, I better get a book out, the new governor. So I done the reverse,
Lee Wortley, that was who did Norman's
Yeah,
book. So.
brilliant. What, Lee, you've done a real good, yeah.
Lee's done a few of Charlie Bronson's books. I think he's done, who else he's done? He's done a few of Lenny's books as well.
Right, okay, amazing.
I think he's done 2 of Lenny's books.
He
and he's done Norman.
phoned me back. He said, Norman, he said, those fights you're in, he said, I phoned about. He said, those 5 blokes you knocked out. He said, you knocked them out, didn't you? I said, well, I told you. He said, I didn't know what you was telling me was all true. He said, but what it is, he's written books before, and the bloke's told him bollocks, and the book's come out bollocks, and he's been upset.
Right.
So he wants a book with all the truth,
Yeah.
And what I said, he said, I'll put you down as 14, you started the door at 14. I said, no, I was 10 years. He said, I can't put 10 years. I said, you asked me to tell the truth,
Right.
And I did. My brother was about 11. We kept going to Spain and back. My dad was a doorman in Aylesbury, Alfie Buckland. He was a tough geezer, a real tough geezer. And because it was his disco, we used to wear the dicky bows, great big dicky bows, and we're only kids, And then I ended up doing full time on the doors from the age of 14, the Bucks Herald, We used to have fries in Aylesbury as well. Oh, Sex Pistols used to go there. David Bowie, they used to have shows there. Slade was there once as well. Well, mind you, there was their second comeback. Who was it? Oh, it was all the groups, all the top groups. And then they had me working doing the security there as well. I had to do the Bow Wow was there. And the Dam was there. Also, from there, I stayed with that. Vic Bellamy, I was doing the groups and minding for him, and Tony Ater at the same time. It was brilliant, really, But to get a train home from here, I couldn't do it. My wife's got to take me, And If you give me your phone number, you give me, I'll write it down 10 times, and I'll be a letter out, and it'd be the same letter each time.
Right.
And that'd really upset me, like, you know what I mean? Or if you give me something to read, it would be like 1,000 ants running across a piece of paper.
Right.
So he used to upset me, like, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like Dave could have used me. Dave Courtney could have used me a lot of times, but he didn't.
Right.
I fucking loved him to pieces. Like, she grasped me up. She said I had tears in my eyes, like, when I found out. And I did have tears in my eyes. I said, what are you telling people that for? I never cry. She said, yeah, but I can't believe you had to. And I did love Dave. I love Dave, you know what I mean? The people try to keep me away from my brother tried to keep me away from a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of the gangsters and that, like. But they never took the piss. They were nice to me. They treated me well, like, you know what I mean? They'd sit me down and talk to him. Yeah. I mean, the old man, Joey Pole, like, he had his wife sitting next to him. He got his wife to sit on the set, and he got me to sit down, like, and said, there's signatures. People want signatures, like, you know what I mean? He said, do you know how to do a signature? I said, I don't really fucking know, like. They said, just fucking... And he knew more of me, you know what I mean? That's why I could never fall out of his son, like, because of the respect I got for his father, like, you know what I mean?
And what are your plans for the future, Norman? Have you got anything that you want to achieve or that you want to do?
Just love everyone. I just love everyone. Yeah, I just love everyone. Help people out, like, you know what I mean? I think we got a third world war maybe coming up, like, you know what I mean? We got as a country stay tight.
You
like.
signing up for that or not? Stormy Norman's in the house.
They wouldn't have me in the army. I couldn't. I was illiterate.
Do you know what? I reckon if I
would have made a good soldier. I'd have loved it.
Give you some steroids, parachute you in. You'd be give you.
I managed to get through on the TA. I managed to train. I was trying to be a trooper for 21 SAS up in Hitchin, like, and I went away to Brecon Beacons and Salisbury Plains. But I had to keep following everyone, and when we had to follow the maps, like, because I couldn't read the maps.
Right.
And they said Brecon Beacons. They said there's 21 SAS have died here before. They go straight when it's foggy on the mountain. They go straight over, like, and they literally told me, like, that's enough. That's as far as you can go, like. Sports wise, the running and the exercise, and I loved it. They give me the stuff, the shirt, and fucking. The closer I ever come to the army, like. Right. I thought I was a made, like, but just the education, it's a shame, really, like. But it never stopped me in the boxing world, like. It don't matter if you're not educated, you can still box.
Yeah.
But I've never treated anyone the way I was treated, because I promised myself, like. So I try and be kind, try and be nice to people, like. I'm never racist, like, you know what I mean? I've not got anything against any religion or colour or whatever, like, you know what I mean? I just want to be nice to people, like, you know what I mean? And when they say, like, you know what I mean, someone messaged me the other day, you should get a day job, Guvnor. And I thought, well, I don't tax anyone. I'm not that bad. Like, what do they expect me, like, you know what I mean? Because I'm Norman Buckland. I'd rather be called Norman Buckland, I'll be honest.
Most people at 60 are retired or thinking about retiring, so I don't think getting a day job's a good idea.
My wife keeps me on her toes, don't you, darling? Yeah. She keeps me alive. It weren't for... I was in hospital 3 times. 3 times I'd a serious. It was serious. What was it? 3 times an heart attack and a stroke and all that. Like, I'm great now, back on my feet and feel great. Like, you know,
you're still standing, Norman, which is good.
She used to come in all the time, and she ended up getting a room in the hospital, Fairfield, wasn't it? Fairfield, and another hospital I was in, like. And they would say, like, she used to visit was from 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock, and they said she's downstairs 10 o'clock in the morning. They said she stay all day for you, like. I said she's moved into the hospital. But the last thing like her, she'd come along, like, you know what I mean? And it's fantastic. But I do the doors now. I still, you know what I mean? I still now and again got to break the fights up, like, you know. And now and again, when you go to break a fight up, they're hitting each other. Like, you do get caught by a few punches, like, you know what I mean? And the women scare me more than the blokes, like, because I like being nice to the women, like, you know what I mean? And especially we had a big traveller in, which one was it now, darling? The one I used to work at.
Is it Windsor?
Windsor, yeah. What was it called, the place? Labyrinth. He used to get about 6,000 people in there, 600 to about 1,000, like, and they were big these boys, they got me in, like, and they all went on the door and left me there, like. And I see they said, we said we had to get him out the other week, but we got him up after we put him down. All 8 of us had to put it. He was fucking massive. You know what I mean? I was looking at him like, and I thought, what the fuck do I do? And he had 2 girlfriends. They kept fucking fighting with the other girls. So I'd pick one up and give her a kiss on the cheek and say, look, behave yourself, and give them back for him, like. And he said, what's your name there? I said, my name's Norman, like. Okay. As he walked out, he see the top doorman, like, and he said to the other doormans, Norman's just throwing me out. I didn't throw him out. And I think it's just the way I treated, like, and I love travellers, like, you know what I mean, as well, like. And the girls are so pretty, like, they come in their dresses. And the men, they look like £2 million, like. You know, unbelievable, like. And they've all got top jobs and their cars and their caravans are like, castles, like. We had a fight down a Traveller. You was there, weren't you? We had a fight for Ricky English, like, down a Traveller site, wasn't it? That great big thing.
Yeah.
Joe Egan's was there. I like Joe Egan's, like, because when I said about him, like, I wanted him to fight me for the belt, he would have beat me because he's fucking bully. He's a bully, because he's a bully. He probably says, Norman, you taught me everything. Like, so I don't know. He would have. He's the only bloke I'd ever drop to. Like, he could beat me. Like, you know. And I'm happy, like, you know what I mean? Because I would have been able, but he was a professional boxer, like, so he couldn't go back into the prize fight. Right. It would have made him a governor, and he would have made, even Ricky English went with him. It would have made him a rich person, like, because no matter who they threw at him, no one could beat him, like, you know what I mean? Except if it was an old world champion would come back, you know what I mean? And they'd probably still get a hiding, like. So he could have earned money, like, and I'd love to give him the belt, like. But it never happened, like. So I never
I'm
got
glad
hiding.
that I left it after the AJ fight, really.
Right.
I'm glad to leave it on that.
Yeah.
But I was tempted to carry on. I was tempted to do bare-knuckle recently.
Right.
Still always have that
I told
urge
him
to
not
fight.
to, yeah.
But
he's not
it's probably
to,
best to leave it when you...
It's best to leave it,
Well,
right?
I think getting punched in the face at 48 is not as much fun as when you're in your 30s, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's never fun anyway. But yeah, it
But
wasn't
what
fun
about
then.
you, Matty? What's your plans for the future now? Because have you done any more film stuff? Because I know you did. Bronson.
Last thing I did, well, we were in Bronson, weren't we? We got a picture of us, haven't we?
Yeah.
Together, which was 2007 or 2008, was it? When I first met Tom. And I got to know Tom actually quite a bit after that. But then since then, I've done a couple of little ones with Joe Egan.
Right.
No, I haven't done anything for a long time.
Right.
I did love doing it. It's mainly low budget films, but I did a couple of terms of acting lessons at MK Theatre, which I enjoyed. But my future wise now, I'm just looking after my 3 boys, keeping them out of trouble. So I've got 3. One's 22, one's 19.
Are they all the same as you, 6'2"
Yeah,
big guys?
yeah, they are. 22, 19, and 15, and they're all 6'2".
Right.
Well, I train with 2 of them. We do weights together.
Amazing.
Matty Junior's a
He's
boxer.
an all-round lovely person, and anyone out there, like, if they could give him some work, filming, anything like that. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah. If any filming does pop up, I'd be happy
nice
to do
job,
it again.
like.
But
I'm telling you, mate, the bloke's honest. He's truthful, like. And he said when he come out of prison, like, and he started fighting the pro, he said, I'm taking you with me. I said, what do you mean? He said, like, you've helped me, so I'm and he does, whatever he does,
Norman
like, he always takes me with him.
You
like.
can't forget if someone's started you off, you can't forget them. So, yeah, Norman got me there, so...
God bless you. A lovely fella, isn't he?
So what we're going to do is we're going to bill this episode as the Podfather versus Stormy Norman versus Matt Legg. There can only be one. But honestly, guys, I've really enjoyed having you on. I mean, we've had a real laugh today. It's good to dip in and out of the stories. Have you ever done a book, Matt?
I've been asked to do them, but I've never really...
Right.
I don't know what it is. I just feel like I need to have some more in my life to do it. I don't know.
Do you know
But
what?
a lot of people ask me. There's loads more that I haven't spoken about that I could put
He's
in.
got so much.
A lot of it I don't talk about.
Yeah.
Right. That's the other thing, isn't it? It's whether you want to talk about it.
Yeah. So a lot of people are getting arrested
Matt
now for
Skelton,
things
he
they
used to
speak
spar
about.
with Matt Skelton.
But I've sparred with
Danny
all-
Williams as well.
Yeah.
He's missed out a lot of the boys you sparred
Yeah, I've
with.
just sparred Danny Williams, Matt Skelton, all of Huey Fury.
Right.
Yeah,
You
a lot of
all
them.
sparred
Derek
together
Chisora.
as well, didn't they? Yeah.
I've been in the Del Boy,
Yeah.
Been in the ring with a lot of them, going back from
Right.
the late 90s up till nowadays.
Amazing.
And he used to hold his own as well. I used to be proud, like, you know what I mean? Proud as punch, like, you know
I
what
would
I mean?
consider the book, maybe. Yeah, I would consider it, but
No, I think it's worth doing because
Yeah.
the thing is, because you led such an interesting life, and you know the prison, the crime,
yeah,
the pro fighting,
Yeah.
the bare-knuckle stuff, you know everything. It's definitely an interesting story.
I'll definitely give it some thought.
It's
Yeah,
fu-
Yeah.
He said the screw said you're not allowed down the gym anymore, like. So what are you going to do? I said, I'm going down the gym. He said, but they've told me you can't go down there, like. And they'd phone up the wing I was on and tell the screws there we don't want Norman down.
Right.
There's going, that's your problem, like. But because I looked after the kids and there was a shooting in Aylesbury, weren't they? Tony Winnick, he shot about 6 people, like, and he got put in prison, like. They put an axe across his head, like. That's why he pulled the gun. He said, Norman, I know you told me not to shoot them, like. He said, but I'll be dead if I never shot them, like, you know. And then they all trickled into prison, like.
Did he get off on mitigating circumstances? Or?
No, he only got 4 years, didn't he?
Wow.
So,
I was going to say
self-defense.
because I know. That, yeah, I mean,
they attacked him with, was it?
what was the gun he had? Was it like an actual proper 9mm, or was it?
I don't know, but he told me not to tell anyone that I got the 12 bore off him.
Right.
No! That's what they keyed out. He said, no, the police don't know where you got it from, do they?
Right.
I said, no. He used to make great big knuckle dusters as well.
Right.
But the only person he ever got in trouble with, he's dead now, bless him,
Right.
is no MOT on his car.
Right.
And I'd love to say now, like, you know what I mean? I had tears in my eyes with Dave Courtney, like, you know what I mean? We loved Dave, didn't we? Yeah.
I always
know what I
liked
mean?
Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, and he towards the end he was turning good, like, you know what I mean? He was doing nice. I was proud of him.
Yeah.
I was proud of him anyway, like, but he was getting nicer and nicer and nicer, like, you know what I mean? And I know his mate. What was Brenda? Is it Brandon?
It's not Brenda.
Listen, I call you
He get really
Brenda
upset, he'd be like-
because I call you Brenda because you're his best mate, and I'm jealous of you.
Brendan-
I wanted
Bren-
to be Dave Courtney's best mate.
Yeah. Brendan-
I was his best man at my wedding. Dave Courtney was.
Oh, really?
Hey, brilliant as well. Like,
He's a
two
good
suits.
storyteller and he's a good comedian.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic! Like, he changed the suit and he put another suit on, and he stood there like we had everyone from, you know what I mean? We had a few gangsters and the travellers, and everyone was there, like, and you could see him staring, like, and looking, like. I said, that's fucking a stare he's got, like. He said, that's for you. I'm entertaining your guests for you, like, you know what I mean? And he'd go up and change his suit and come down, and I loved him. I honestly loved him. Like, the thing when they set a fight up between us that pushed us apart.
Right.
Fuck me. You know what I mean? I'll probably even take a dive for him,
Right,
like. But I don't think he wanted me to take a dive, even if I did, because you know what I mean? He liked me. You know what I mean? He'd get in the ring of anyone. He wasn't scared of no one. He wasn't scared of me, like. But they put it on him, like. It was a shame, like, you know.
We got to say a big RIP to Dave, and
Yeah.
you know, may his sort of memory live on. I'm sure lots of people have watched Hell to Pay. That was the movie that was my first movie with him.
Was you in there?
Yeah, I had a little part in it.
I see him today. I said, you was in Foot Soldier. You was in Foot Soldier, weren't you?
I'm surprised you recognised
And
him
I
about the
see you on
wig.
the internet. It's all you on the internet all the time, like.
Eamon O'Keefe was helped me when he was a good
Eamon
friend
as
of
well.
mine.
Eamon as well, yeah, because he's up that way as well.
Yeah, he's in where I live. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eamon.
Well, gents, listen, I've really enjoyed having you on.
Oh, it's
Thank
lovely,
you.
mate. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Terry.
Oh, it's been great.
I've not met you before, Norman, but I've obviously met Matty before. But it's so good to have you here.
I love Matty like a son.
his
I really
stories.
do, like. And I do. Listen, if you want a good man working for you, like, if you can find him some decent work, this man is so loyal. He as a kid, I helped him out, and he pulled me with him all the way, like, you know what I mean? He said I was willing to put the Guvnor's belt on the line to fight him. He'd beat me anyway, but you know what I
Never
mean?
know.
He couldn't because he was a professional boxer, like. But he's one of the only blokes that could. I don't think anyone could beat you in the street, like, you know what I mean? Unbelievable.
Thanks for tuning in to the Criminal Connection podcast. The Podfather versus Stormin Norman Buckland and Matt Lucky Legg.
Hey!
Great episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you tune in next week because we've got some more exciting guests and we will see you on the other side.